city vibes, solo or family style, whatever moves you, whatever the season, plan your perfect Massachusetts getaway at visitma.com.
Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
What do you think they
We're
do?
all wrong once in a while.
Anybody can make a mistake.
Oh, sure. No, mistakes aren't acceptable here, Paul.
I am once in a while, too.
No, you're right.
I nail the hell out of most. We go to break, and he goes, I don't know why you make me so mad. And then he texted me the next day.
It's a gift.
I've been thinking about it. I love you, and I hate you.
That 15-second soundbite by Andy encapsulates PFW. He agreed with Christian, but still found a way to get in an argument
and
about it.
And I told him you used to call me the likable jerk.
I think it was worse than that.
Yeah, I think it was too.
What they'll do is they'll do something innocuous in their post, but then their screen name will be Fred, I effed your mother, or something like that.
Oh
you know?
my.
So,
I
like,
follow Fred, I effed your mother. It's funny. So I love college football. He has no interest in it.
The reason why I don't get into college football in the fall is because I have what's called a girlfriend. And 6 days a week.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Fueled by Duncan.
all right.
I'm still recovering from that rocket shot that Evan threw yesterday.
I was gonna lead with it was a crazy show, but
That was an all-time moment
He
from
went
when
nuclear.
I've been here.
I
Yeah.
wish I could have been there for that, because then I could have piped in and been like, well, I guess that's why I'm single, because I love college football.
Oh, there you go.
Love
team
college football.
Barth. Team Barth.
Anyway, it is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium, and it's a full crew. It's Deuce, it's Tamara, it's Alex, it's Paul, it's me, it's Matt in the booth, and we're here.
Are we on TV?
We're on TV
Just
today.
another one of those days that we're on TV and no one said anything.
Yeah, we're on
Don't
TV
pick your
today.
nose.
I wish I would have known. I would have
Nice two-shot.
gotten dressed.
Best behavior.
Well, you're dressed.
Are you not dressed?
I mean,
She means dressed.
She's a never nude.
Dressed.
Yeah.
Well,
That blinding
you got a face
outfit
for
from
radio.
last week.
You know?
You would have put your shoes and socks on.
yes.
Yes, yes.
It's radio.
All
Nobody
right.
cares.
But yeah, it's Cleveland week here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I feel good about this one, Fred.
Do you?
I don't often feel confident, but I think Patriots are going to
Yeah,
win this one.
we got off the show and we were walking back to our places of work yesterday after the show, and you were like, I'm sure about this.
Yeah.
What was your tagline? Get
Yeah.
even in Cleveland?
Get even in Cleveland. I know I burned it on the 10 to watch, but I thought that was a good little saying. And I mean, there's always like everybody's looking for captions constantly. And,
Yeah.
and like, we need social media
That's
captions.
a good one.
I like
we
it.
Need other,
I do too.
So hey,
Get back to
I hope
500.
they use it.
3-3.
Yeah.
3-3. Well, I already used it, so they better not. Thanks.
Is that your key to the game too?
Getting even?
Yeah.
No, it's just
tell us.
Stop the run.
Don't tell
I'll
us.
save it for later.
What makes you so certain?
I don't know. I just have some confidence today. I feel like the Patriots are playing well, and I think the Browns, like, they got a good run team, but I think they're one-dimensional. And I think based on what we saw last week, I think they'll have a good plan and kind of put the game on Brissett, and I don't think he's going to be able to pull it out. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park, but I think they'll pull away.
My thing about them is, isn't every team going to, trying to put it on Brissett, and yet they still average 190 yards
Yeah, but the
rushing
Patriots
per
will
game.
do it, Fred. They'll do it. Yeah, they got the pieces. They got the talent. They got the commitment. 3-3. Let's go.
Well, I mean, you listened to Bill yesterday talking about the Browns, and it is true. Browns have a lot of talent on that team.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Well,
They've
that's why they went out and got Watson.
Yeah.
It felt like they had a team
Right.
that was ready to contend for the AFC title.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Garrett and Clowney have 6 injuries between the two of them listed right now. So
Not to
kinda
worry
helps
about
too.
Cleveland. No important players didn't practice yesterday. I wouldn't worry
It's like
about
head,
that
shoulder,
at all.
knees, and toes for
Yeah,
both of them.
it was like
Literally.
shoulder, bicep, wrist. Me and Tamara were like, that's his whole arm.
Yeah.
That's literally his wole arm.
Just say arm. Make
Upper
it a little
body.
easier.
Yeah.
That's- I know.
Joel Bitonio, Jadeveon Clowney, Amari Cooper, Ronnie Harrison, and Denzel Ward all didn't practice yesterday for Cleveland.
Yeah, and
It's gotten to the point of just I laugh at it now.
no, it's as expected. Good, perfect. Lining up. Take these while we can in the middle of the season. But I think they'll play well. I feel confident. I don't know. I don't usually pound this drum,
Well,
so we'll see what it means.
I think you're playing the role of Andy, actually. Andy Hart, who actually was on the show yesterday. But Andy used to do that. Like, whatever the last return was, that's what he's based on.
Yeah.
Go to Tampa in the preseason, you have 10 sacks. We're going to have the best. We could go undefeated this year. It's going to be the best defense ever.
It's amazing that That's exactly the game. It was a Tampa preseason game. He declared he thought Gerard Mayo and Andre Carter were going to split the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to learn this about Andy. That seems very
One-
reactionary.
Because they played 3 series against the Bucs and they had 5 sacks and they were all over the place. They're going to blitz this year. They're going to No, they didn't.
I'm not even
None of
basing
that.
it off of anything that outstanding. I thought they were fine last week, but
I
think
so you're not telling me that last week got you into this great mood and
no, maybe a little bit with the defense, maybe a little bit, but I think they're going to play even better this week. I think this week will be a more, team effort. I think the offense will do more no matter who's.
I'm with you when it comes to the defense.
Yeah.
I think they're showing week by week that Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo are figuring out who they've got, who can do what well, and they're putting guys in the position to succeed. They're coming up with good game plans based on the opponent. And I'm optimistic about the defense.
Yeah,
I am too, especially with Brissett, someone they know very well. I think that the game plan they put together is going to be something that's going to be able to contain as much as they can the run game, obviously, and force them to throw the ball a little bit more. And then I think on offense, I think what I'm looking for is finishing in the red zone. I don't want 7 field goals.
Yeah,
we're gonna throw it at the red zone. That's
I
the
mean,
question.
I don't want 7 field goals.
You start to tap it down once you get in there.
And the question is, we're assuming Bailey Zappi is going to be the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Will they be willing to take chances once they get in the red zone?
Well, I mean, or just give it to Ramondre. Let him get some rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just over the field goals. Obviously, I'd rather 3 over nothing, but.
And that's the thing about Cleveland that, as good as their running attack is, their running defense isn't that good. They're giving up, 160 yards a game or something like that?
But what if Ramondre is really the only threat they have to plant? I don't know. I'll be interested to see how they handle Ramondre given what happens with Damian. The depth just really isn't there in the backfield.
I was just talking about that upstairs. I was like, okay, are we going to see Pierre Strong? Are we going to, maybe see Kevin Harris, J.J. Taylor? Like I wonder what they are going to do so that, maybe there is another running back available.
They'll have to bring one up. Yeah. Paul thinks it'll be J.J. Taylor, probably because of his experience, but I wouldn't be surprised to see either David or Harris or Pierre Strong as well. You might even have 2 running backs. Kevin Harris. What did I say? David?
Yeah,
Who's David Harris? For the Jets?
Yeah.
Or David Montgomery.
I think he was here, too.
For the Bears.
Was he for a cup of coffee?
For a cup of coffee. I don't think he ever made the team.
I remember that. Yeah. 11? Somewhere
He's a
around
good
there.
player. David Harris is a really good player for the Jets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Harris.
I also thought it was interesting outside of finishing in the red zone. The number one thing when I talked to the receivers yesterday in the locker room that they said that was a priority for this week was ball security. And I'm like, I wish I could have gotten to talk to Nelson Aguilar about that.
Oh, hey.
it's been a little bit.
Well, in
too
his case,
repetitive
it's as much about catching the ball so that you can secure it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird though. Because they've only had 4 takeaways and 4 turnovers. Turnovers don't really seem like they've had a big impact on this team. It doesn't seem like they're loose with the football. They don't really force turnovers.
Well, it's just that they haven't been able to overcome them. When they happen. They happen. Last game was pretty good.
No, he's talking about Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. Oh, I'm sorry.
They haven't been a team that's taken the ball away very often.
Oh, okay.
So just interesting that's what they're kind of stressing on.
And both of them said it. And they weren't even next to each other when I asked them what their focus was. Both of them said ball security, and I guess it was because of
emphasis.
The point of emphasis with, especially Bill Belichick talked about it, with them being so fast on defense. I guess that is what they're focusing on, is ball security being the most important thing.
Patriots are focusing on that because.
Which I think
threw me a curve. You started.
Yeah,
talking
he
about
did.
Brian.
No,
sorry.
Mike's point was it's strange that they were talking so much about ball security against a team that doesn't take the ball away.
Well,
Thank you,
on
Paul.
Nelson's interception
Mike.
in particular, it wasn't even anyone taking the ball away from him. It was just off his hands, and they caught the tip. So
Right. Right.
See, we can't do that anymore. We're on TV.
You can.
You gotta be careful, Michael.
Well, I think that until the Patriots can prove over a stretch of time that they're taking care of the ball, I think that has to be the message every week to them.
Yeah. I think in some way they've been. That last one Aguilar had was that the fumble. I mean, he's had a couple of those plays, and I mean, I said it yesterday. It just bugs you that you got a young quarterback. You know, guys need to step up, and you're just not making plays for your rookie quarterback, and you're putting them in a bad place. I think that's what's tough. But interesting point of emphasis, though, and it just makes me wonder. You know, J.J. Taylor last year, this was his last game. I know he's been a guy with ball security things. And another thing I thought too was, I think Mac Wilson forced a fumble last year, right? Well, didn't he force a fumble on the Patriots last year? Here, I think, maybe, perhaps he was involved a lot.
Now you're really.
He played. He's one of the few players that's out. Just that his
I
foot
don't speak
sides,
that
but
much, Mike.
I know. Sorry, but you know, I just interesting. It's largely the same defense that they had last year. Paul mentioned Ward. I mean, he's kind of had a down year. I mean, looking at some of his stats over the last few years, he's been really good, and he's been one of the guys that just hasn't really been playing up to par for them right now.
Well, the Patriots had their first participation report yesterday. We mentioned a lot of Browns not playing, but not practicing. But the Patriots had a lot of people practicing, but a lot of them limited.
Mm-hmm.
So Damian Harris was limited. Lawrence Guy was limited. Obviously, Mac Jones was limited.
Jalen
Mills. Who else? Aguilar. He was
Nelson,
limited.
yeah.
He also has a
I think
hamstring.
there was like 11 players
Andrews has
total.
got a back. I mean, there's some of these injuries pop up, and you don't like.
Thumb.
They never miss anything, so it never like really gets on your radar. Where guys who have missed games, like Guy, a Harris is expected to miss games, but at the same time, I think it's a reminder that there's a bunch of guys dealing with stuff that you might not even realize. Jonnu Smith was out there again, so they're all out there. We'll see. I think Lawrence Guy would be the big one to get him back against this run D.
Alex, I see you have your phone out. Do you mind checking the weather for Sunday at 1 in Cleveland?
Already did.
Yeah.
Ready.
Show prep.
It's going to be very similar to last week in Cleveland. It's staying warm out there. It's going to be out 60, mostly sunny.
Okay.
Wow, not a factor.
Any wind factor? Any breeze coming in?
You want the
humidity?
Because I was
Go
really
back.
surprised. Bill mentioned that there was a crosswind last week here. And you couldn't see that from the press box. Like the flags on the goalposts were not really moving. But I guess there was like some kind of crosswind.
It was
secret
definitely
wind.
windy yesterday, but I think we were just trapped in the bowl because I know walking into the stadium, my hair just got ruined. And then once I was in, I was like, okay, it's not
Me
that
too.
bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You didn't bring your hat, Paul?
it wasn't great.
Of course I did.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking up the game book from last year, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
and Mac Wilson had 7 tackles in the game,
No.
but did not
No.
have any forced fumble.
No.
And Patriots did not turn the ball over in that game.
Okay.
I mean, that was pretty much a perfect game. I mean, what was the final score of that one?
45 to 7.
And it was
45 to 7.
And if you'll remember the first drive by Cleveland, they rushed it a bunch. They kind of went right down the field and scored. And then Patriots countered and scored. And then next possession, Cleveland turned it over. Patriots scored. It was 14.
Well, is that the one where Chubb was on a gallop?
That was
Oh, no,
that
no.
was
Chubb.
19. Yeah.
Oh.
Chubb was on a
He
gallop.
thinks Chubb was active in the game.
No.
I don't know.
That was before Chubb was a superstar. He was still
Yeah,
healthy.
it was Dearness Johnson. That was the guy you guys were making fun of me about
How does
knowing
he
yesterday.
remember these things?
And they ran him right down the field in the first drive, and then the next drive they came out and empty backfield, shotgun spread, and throwing it all over the place, and they
And Baker Mayfield
started
just
turning the ball over.
imploded, and
Yeah.
that was where I lost any hope of Baker
Dearness
Mayfield
Johnson
ever being
had
good.
19 carries for 99 yards in that game, 5.2 a carry.
Yep.
And I
And
bet
it was
you-
all
and I
on the
bet you
first drive because
was
once
like,
they fell behind, they couldn't run the ball anymore.
yeah, I bet you at least 30, 40 of them were on that first drive for sure.
So it's going to be another interesting test. And to me, the key is limiting the Cleveland rushing attack. If you can do that,
Yeah.
if you can hold them, believe it or not, around 100 yards, I think you win this game.
100 yards like total
Yeah.
between the both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, rushing.
Okay.
Rushing. Yeah, total.
Yeah, I mean, we spent so much time in the last few seasons talking about the Patriots' run defense, and sometimes these kind of teams come up like last year, and you think, oh, this could be a good challenge to see where they're really at, and then you get Dearness Johnson instead of those two guys. So I like games like this where something that you're maybe not 100% sold on just yet, that the Patriots can straight up stop the run right from the get-go. Last week I think they showed they could do it in specific instances in short yardage, which is great, but this is a straight up test against. Bill was all over their offensive line, too, and both these guys should be ready to go. So you should learn something about
Chubb
the
and
Patriots
Hunt
today.
are not even on the injury report, and they only have one offensive lineman. Petonio. I mean, one of their better ones, but it should be a good test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
the
Yalda
run
Froholtz is with these guys too. I saw him
Oh.
popping up.
But-
Our old friend.
But a legit test, and I think
Yeah.
if they do well against their run, there's no asterisks there. Where in many of these games, they're
provided that
there's
the
a
game-
but. There's a but.
Yeah,
you know?
I would just be interested, like Detroit the other day, I think got off to a decent start running the ball and then fell behind and couldn't
Right.
really run. Like, I would be just curious to see how the game unfolds. But, yeah, personnel-wise, definitely no asterisk. And if your thing comes true, and it's a regular
What's my thing?
100
Yeah, what's
yards.
your
Okay. Oh, yeah.
100
Okay.
yards. I mean, that would be an incredible performance. If it's like 100, 110 yards rushing for the Browns, and, it's like a 24-20 game or something like that, that's really good defense.
Did you catch what I did in the round table answer?
I haven't read them yet. No,
I think
no,
you should
no,
start
no.
sharing those with the rest of the class.
Why? You can read them when they're posted.
Yeah, but I won't do
Yeah,
that.
but I don't want you to,
No reply all.
give you any hints.
Oh,
You know,
I don't need.
No, I said if the Patriots can hold the Browns below 102.3 yards.
Wow.
2.3.
Okay, so how
Very
did you
specific.
calculate that specific
Well,
number?
that's what I want people to wonder. Like, where did I come up with that number?
It's advanced analytics.
They think Freddie's like Johnny
Can't
Analytics.
get into it.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of numbers
The
involved.
line or
but that's what came out.
What
That's
is it?
where it is.
102.3.
102.3.
0.3. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's close. I mean, it's like 102.2229.
Like I just.
But we rounded
he
it
thinks
up.
he's Cynthia Freeland. I don't know.
Oh, don't get
Who's
Evan
that?
started on her.
or anybody else.
People without girlfriends. Very, very judgy.
Very judgy.
Very judgy.
Yeah.
He just sits in his
Judgy.
ivory tower looking down at the all-22, judging people who don't watch it and don't have girlfriends.
Yeah. Well, listen, it takes up a lot of time. All right, 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket hotline. Web radio at patriots.com is the email address. What else do we got? A big expose from Seth Wickersham on ESPN today.
I think
You get Van Natta and
Yeah.
Wickersham on you, and there was another
Yeah.
byline in there. I think it was Tisha Thompson or something
Yeah.
like that.
About Dan Snyder and all there, but the fact that
Voluminous.
he might have dirt on all the other owners, and
holding
that's why they
everybody
haven't kicked
hostage.
him out yet,
Yeah.
because he could drop the bomb if he wanted to at any time, and he's hired private detectives to dig up dirt on even Goodell. I mean, wow.
And then you're coming to, and then next week. There's owners meetings, right? Like Tuesday. So this stuff is
Good stuff.
kind of
Proper
interesting
timing.
how it all comes out right now, and then we got a weekend to kind of let it percolate a
Yeah.
little bit.
So that's out there. Anything else? A big game tonight.
It's a lot of
Big.
Bears and Commanders.
Well, we got to do some scouting, right? Got
Yeah.
to scout.
Paul, you'll be watching
Nikhil
tonight?
Harry's back. No, he's got a wine
this
and
is-
cheese party.
This is probably a game that I shan't watch a play.
I don't think I will
I-
either.
Although
I
I
just-
am kind of curious to see the all orange
yeah.
for the Bears.
And
Do you
I saw
think-
it, and all right, I'm out.
Do you think it'll top last week's Thursday night game?
It
By
can't,
top,
it
you mean
can't be
bottom?
worse.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Because that was the worst.
What was it, 12-9 in overtime last week? I
Yeah.
mean, not only did you have to endure
you don't
field
think it could
goals,
be
you
worse
got
than that?
overtime of it. too?
I can't imagine. I mean,
The most entertaining part of the game were the memes on Twitter coming out about how bad the game was.
I mean,
Right.
if it starts out worse than that, Goodell will just run out the field. All right, that's it. Stop the cameras.
You think
I
Goodell's
think-
going to be there for this one?
I think he
don't.
does. I think he does the opposite. It's like another great Thursday night game. The fans want Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Like no matter what
No.
happens, he tells you the
The
opposite.
fans are telling us they want 40 games a season. That's what they're telling us.
That was the year that he was here and he was speaking at the hall, and Fred and I were off to the side, and and we were like Stather and Waldorf making fun of everything that he said. Yeah, this guy.
I wish that you had to earn Thursday night football games. Like in college football, everyone does not get a Thursday night football game. Like, I couldn't even imagine if that was a thing.
Yeah.
But would
So I
you
kind of
want to earn
wish-
it?
But no one wants it.
No one wants it.
I mean,
It's like you can
that
opt
they
out
even
of it.
play them.
It's like having to earn Hard Knocks. Nobody wants
No
that.
one wants that either.
Yeah.
Which,
I
by
mean-
the way, I don't know if you listened to the pregame show, but we had, I forget our guest's name from Detroit. But
Tim 20-man.
Tim 20-man. How did I forget that name? We asked him about just what it was like from his, as DetroitLions.com, to have Hard Knocks going on. And it was interesting, like a little bit of insight of, actually hearing what the guys say. You watch practice, then you go, obviously a week later you see the episode, but I just thought it was interesting.
Did you ask him like how heavily? I'm sure it was, but how heavily edited it was? Like,
well, I don't think you would know that from the outside.
Well, you know what happened at practice, and then you know what shows up on TV.
Yeah, but you don't know what is going on behind closed doors.
Oh, that part. Yeah.
Bradley, our video guy, could answer that question for you because he was with the Browns when they did the Hard Knock seasons, and his stories are legendary.
Yeah. Really?
Legendary.
What I liked was
can't be repeated on air, but
we asked him about like how his interaction with the camera was. Like, did he get on, or was he? And he was laughing. He goes, "That was one of the things he went into camp saying, I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure I'm not anywhere near."
Right.
He goes, and like that very first thing that you see of him, Dan Campbell doing the up downs, he's right behind. He goes, and I'm looking, and the camera's right at my face. He's like, "Oh, I guess I'm going to be in."
Well, I guess they get to cover practice there, huh?
Yeah, he was like
right next to the up downs.
Yeah, he was right next to the field, I think, and he looked up and he said the camera was like looking right at him.
No, not us. We'll be up on the.
I was in Belichick the 09 one.
You were. You were taking notes.
Taking
he
copious,
said something. You
notes.
went to your paper. I was like, hey, there's Paul.
Copious notes.
Hands folded on the desk.
Anything else before we get to the calls and emails?
No, I think
we have picks
full
today.
Steam ahead on Cleveland. And
we have to hurry. Evan will be here after practice to let us know
N'Keal
what
Harry's
there.
back for the Bears, so
N'Keal Harry was, I guess, has this game circled on his calendar. He confirmed.
Oh, is that right?
What does he have against the
Washington
Commanders? Just to be back. He's just excited.
Or no, that was the Bears Monday night game.
Yeah,
I misspoke. Yeah.
Oh, the next game
next week.
Yeah.
Look out.
Watch out. All right.
What would you do?
Yes.
And I'm being dead serious. How would you feel if he went for like 8 and $120 and 2 touchdowns?
Oh, I'd have to reevaluate
like,
my life.
would it bother you more?
No.
Oh, it would bother me.
It would bother me more because I'd be like, I never saw that in
it would bother
70
me,
training camp practices or whatever we've seen.
It would bother me a lot more.
No, it wouldn't bother me because I just knew I would know that no matter what he does, where he goes, he wasn't going to do that here. Like it was done here.
It's a great way to go through life.
It just wasn't going to happen.
It was the
here.
right move, no matter what.
No, really. I mean, do you ever think that was going to happen here?
I think
I
don't think he'll ever catch 8 for 120.
Like I would go into every season saying, okay, he's going to turn it around.
Yeah.
And I just gave up. It was never going to happen here. He needed a new place, and who knows if it's going to happen there either. But it just wasn't going to happen here. So if he has a great career somewhere else, good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I would be wondering why they couldn't have got it out of him here, and does it look like?
That would really bug me.
Is he like a contested catch monster now? And
would it bug you from the
ball
point
away
of
from Jalen
they
Mills?
weren't able to get to him, or he just wasn't putting his best effort here?
No, they weren't able to use him right.
They weren't able to
get that out of him. If he ends up turning into a really good player, that would bother me.
Yeah.
Why didn't we get it out of him?
Yeah.
Would it make you feel worse though if he was just like this wide receiver who just run blocked the whole game and was just steamrolling guys down the field?
That wouldn't bother me at all.
Like he's flexing or just killing guys left and right.
I mean, I don't wish. I don't wish
He's
him
really
any ill
taking his
will, but it
blocking
would
to the
bug
next
me if
level.
he all of a sudden turned out to be a great receiver somewhere else.
2 games back from injury. I'm not too.
No, I'm not.
Spilled milk.
I don't have really
Spilled
any
milk.
fear of that happening. None.
Yeah.
Well, you just watched him enough. I mean, I don't want to say it's the same thing as Zappy, but it's a similar thing where it's like, look, we go out to practice. We sit there and we watch. I mean, guys who are good, you see that guys are good, and guys who don't do much, you see guys who don't do much. Like, I'm not expecting Bailey Zappi to do things I didn't see this summer, just like I'm not expecting N'Keal Harry to do things that I didn't see for 3 summers or whatever, 4 summers of watching him in the training camp,
Yikes, that was a harsh comparison.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Ooh.
Right? There he is. There's Zappy.
All right, let's go to the phones, I guess. We'll start with Todd in North Carolina on the Ace Ticket Hotline. What's up, Todd?
Hey, guys. My prediction for the game tonight is based on the Paul Perillo theory that when you have 2 average to Midland teams, you take the home team. And I think Cleveland's probably going to pull this out. I think it's going to be really close. But my feeling is there's, you're playing against the Patriots. You always step up. I don't care even if it's past the dynasty. They still want to beat you, right? So, and the talent on the Cleveland team is pretty good.
You're picking Cleveland, seriously?
I am.
Oh, come on, bro.
Wow.
Now,
you giving him
I have a quick question for you guys. Going forward, past this game, and into the winning streak, which two players, one on offense, one on defense, need to bring their A game for the rest of the year to really make a difference. And my two are Mac Jones on the offense, because I think if he can bring his A game, he's got enough tools that he'll be able to do things. And then Josh Uche, I think we need to see something from Uche. I think if he can start flying around and we up his game, then I think we've got enough talent.
I think Mac Jones is obvious. I think Uche's a stretch. I think you're really digging deep there.
He's a bit player.
Yeah, I think. Listen, if he turns out to be, this great player, but that's not going to happen. I don't think. I think you're digging deep.
I would just stick with Judon.
You look at Duggar stepped up, and he's made a difference.
Duggar certainly has made a difference.
Duggar plays like every down, though. I mean, Josh Uche's playing like 15, 20 snaps a game. It's hard
That's the problem. I think we need more of him on the field.
Really? So you want more Uche?
I'm not sure.
I want more plays. I don't need him to be out. I just want him to make plays. To me, it would be Judon maintaining.
Yeah.
Unlike last year, maintaining his strong level of play.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to pick Judon because I thought he was already bringing his A game. But, I get what you're saying.
I think if every week the defensive backfield, the young guys get just a little bit better every week, I think, to me, that's the ingredient to success on defense.
Yeah, well, let's.
I like that choice.
Yeah, let's see them match up against.
Todd.
A deep receiving core, and you got them coming up, and
they'll be fine with this game. They'll be fine with the next one. Let me know what happens in November and December.
Yeah, that's why I say by that time, hopefully they're in full stride. George in Madison, New Jersey writes in, do you guys think that all the calls for Zappe to usurp Mac would be so loud if Mac were playing better? No.
Well, I think that goes a little bit to what we were saying yesterday. I do think that Mac was catching some flack, before he got hurt. There were certainly people saying, "Oh, he hasn't made the year 2 jump."
If Mac had been lighting it up until now, we'd be just, begging for him to get back. Mac is clearly farther along than Zappe and the better quarterback overall. But is Mac going to be the kind of quarterback that will get you out of a 2-3 TD hole against a Mahomes or Allen? I know it's early, but my gut tells me he's not going to get there. I know quarterbacks. Although I never played football, I lived one floor below Eli Manning in Hoboken for 2 years.
Oh, boy.
It's actually true. And once rode in the elevator with Peyton, who I didn't recognize. So this clearly makes me an expert.
You didn't recognize Peyton?
Hoboken, Freddie. Isn't that Arthur's?
Yes, it is Arthur's.
Have you ever gone to Arthur's in Hoboken? Great place.
What is it?
It was a steak place.
Also, but not recognizing Peyton,
I know.
I can't imagine you're much of a football fan.
I wonder how long ago this was.
He's pretty recognizable.
Yes.
Right? Unless he had some woolen hat over his forehead.
Oh, that could be too. Maybe he.
If he had on sunglasses and a hat and a hood, his hood up or something, sure. But
well, we were at the hall. We saw Boomer Esiason in there. We knew who it was, right?
It's true. Thanks, dude.
Is that Boomer Esiason? No. Paul Prillo.
No, it's an inside joke, Mike.
It's a 5'0" fat guy.
Those who know.
Let's see. Lots of emails about whether or not
I would agree, by the way, about Mac Jones. We should probably talk about the guy's email. You took the time to read it.
Yeah. Well, I thought okay, go ahead.
I don't have a lot of faith in the Patriots offense coming back from, multiple score deficits. And I think that, that's a problem for Mac Jones.
Do you think that their acknowledgement of pushing the ball down the field is a way to try to get to that point?
Yep.
It seems
that's
what they're trying to get to.
I saw them win the game that they won Sunday a million times. 12, really.
Yep.
But I haven't seen them win another way. I think what the Patriots coaching staff did throughout the offseason, I think makes a lot of sense. A lot of people have given them a lot of crap for it. I think that they needed to find ways to get some chunk plays and have the ability to score quicker. So when you're in a different kind of game, you're not spending 8.5 minutes getting the 1 score of the 2-score deficit, which is what they did in those games that they never had a chance in last year.
And they needed to show a willingness to do it because, again, if they were easy to defend last year, the way to combat that is to be, do different things so that teams don't know what you're going to do on every down,
Sure.
Become a little less easy to defend. And you have to, even if it's not successful, show the willingness to go deep once in a while, you know? And now with Thornton back, maybe you can actually be successful doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the speed that they drafted. I mean, you look up and down the draft, everybody can run. I mean, from Cole Strange through Marcus Jones, and, I mean, all those guys are fast. Pierre Strong. I guess now it's just a question of, can you get Mac back and translate it? And I think for me, like, that's where I'm kind of stuck. Like, there's so much analysis going on of the offense and, the Patricia thing and all that. But, like, they played 2 games with their backups. Like, it's hard for me to really look at these last 2 games and be like, this is what they are. This, to me, is like 2 lifeboat games where you're just trying to get the win and not beat yourself.
Right.
And so it's hard to really judge where they are over the last 2 weeks. So once you get Mac back, then you can start pressing that issue more and see what they really are. But until he does, I think that they're still in that lifeboat mode.
I really wonder what Mac's mindset is right now.
Someone asked about that, like, where is he mentally dealing with the injury and also, I guess you could say, the Zappy fever situation. And they're like, that's a question for Mac.
Yeah, well, it is.
I mean, it's a question for Mac. Like, how are you going to ask Joe Judge how he's doing mentally? Like, he's not in his mind.
Like so when he does come back, is he pressing?
Like, what?
When he does come back, does he press, and does that hurt him, or does he use this as motivation, and does it make him get better?
For me, it's clean up the mistakes. I think Mac was playing okay. I just think he needs to clean up the mistakes. And when we talked about him going out and getting the perspective from watching a couple games, like, I just hope he gets back to that, not throwing terrible interceptions. I mean, their interceptions are going to happen, Zappy, but, it's the ones where it's right to the guy.
Yep.
And there's been ones that have been dropped, and it was consistent. And I think that's the biggest thing that he needs to clean up to get back here and, get on track and get rid of this Zappy stuff. But in terms of his mindset, I mean, based on what I've seen of that guy, I think he wants to get back ASAP. I think.
Well, I'm pretty sure of that.
I think he understands the NFL and that you can lose your job anyway. It doesn't matter if it's injury or whatever. Regardless of how much of the Zappy stuff is kind of overblown, I still think he hears that and he wants to push things to get back, maybe even before he should. That's where I think he's.
Well, I mean, you hope he's taking that personally.
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, I'm
Michael Jordan.
How dare you play marginally well?
Wait, Paul, what was the thing that you taught me on Sunday? Hands up or palms up?
Oh,
palms
yeah.
up. What are we doing?
Palms up.
Yeah, you have to kind of juggle.
That's in youth sports.
That's a deuceism.
The juggle.
What are we
palms
doing?
up.
Well, the youth sports coaches are always, we're a palms down team, not a palms up team.
Oh yeah, like settle down.
Yeah.
We're good. Patience, not. What are we doing? You're juggling.
Yeah.
I also will say,
yes,
I do want Mac Jones, when he's back out there, to kind of limit the turnovers. But I also say I kind of feel like the offensive line is playing better now than they were.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
at
about
the beginning
yesterday.
of the season. So I'm thinking a mixture with a better offensive line, maybe that'll help him out a little bit.
I think so. Yeah.
I hope so. Maybe watching from above and says, "Hey, these guys aren't so bad."
I think bringing Cannon in has kind of settled things. Using him as the extra person, the eligible person, that's helped. I think Stevenson has gotten better every week with blitz pickup. So I think you're right. And Cole Strange, you would imagine every game he's gotten better.
I think they've gotten better, and so I think that when Mac Jones is available and ready to come back, then I'm hoping that could help him out too.
Do you think there's anything we've been talking a lot about? Oh, we got to stack the box and stop, Chubb and Hunt. I mean, do you think there's anything to be said talking about things that have developed since Mac has been out? Stevenson, great game last week, continues to ascend. Do you get to a point where you feel like, hey, Stevenson might require a little box attention from the defense, and maybe that can help downfield if they get, less coverage heavy stuff, especially downfield. I mean, I wonder
maybe play action means something now.
Does this game, and everybody's talking about Zappy Mac, I feel like I'm going to Harris and Stevenson, but does Harris's injury at this point and Stevenson's kind of ascension a little bit, does that change the roles at all? I mean, it still seemed like kind of Harris was the lead guy.
Yep.
Does Stevenson take that over? Does he become kind of the lead guy? I mean, I think they're great together, but I just think if Stevenson brings this threat of, we have to consider this.
Well, I think they're,
when we're stacking
once Harris is healthy, like, do you have to change it up? It's working the way they do it. Put Harris in to start, and mix in Stevenson, and as things start to roll, you figure out, what style's working best. I see no reason to really change that up as long as Harris is healthy.
I also someone asked Bill this. I can't remember if it was after the game or the next day, but someone asked, has Ramondre proved that he can be an every down back? And he said, there's no question about that.
Oh, of course.
And I'm like,
absolutely.
all right.
Yeah.
So I think he's raved about him a ton, and if they do need to lean on him heavily while Harris is gone, like, that's great. But I do agree that why not use both of them?
Why not use both? Yeah. Bama Boom writes in, first-time emailer, found your podcast after the Bucs game and love the show. My question is, do you think people are overlooking the Browns matchup? I think this is a serious test for the team and could see a really close game this Sunday. Well, definitely Deuce is overlooking it.
I am.
Yeah.
I definitely am.
Well, I'm not trying to set them up to fail.
No, I would never do that.
That's what Mike is doing.
No. I just think they're going to win this game. I mean, last week, the Lions team was pretty good. I think this Patriots team will come together, and I think they've found something.
Also, I haven't watched a ton of the Cleveland Browns, but I feel like the fact that the games that they've lost have been by a total of 6 points, it's like they could be undefeated right now, which is I did not predict that, especially considering what's going on in their quarterback room. I was like, oh, well, they're not going to win a game. But to see they could be 5-0 right now, it's like it is a little shocking.
Based on their season, I don't know how you could feel great about saying that this one would be easy.
Yeah.
Right. Every one of their games basically has gone down to the last possession.
Yep.
And the one that was a 2-score game involved a touchdown on the last play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That, the Pittsburgh Thursday nighter, there was a fumble lateral play that game was 23-17, I think, until that play. So all the other games, if they miss a field goal opening day, they lose. If they make a field goal last week against the Chargers, they win. That's how every one of their games has been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
But Deuce thinks it's in the bag.
All right, the Panthers, they just fired their coach. Jets, week 2 with Joe Flacco. Steelers are on their next quarterback. The Falcons, and the Chargers without most of their stars, and Justin Herbert's playing with ribs. So
fair enough.
Some context. We talk about everybody.
Are we going to do this?
Right. So now
we're going to say Pittsburgh and Detroit.
Right.
2 wins combined.
Right.
Like that's what we're doing?
Well, they've all been close, but I just think the Patriots
are a better team
team
The Patriots games haven't all been close. Those are their wins. Pittsburgh and Detroit.
Well, Miami.
They got blasted against Miami, and they got blasted against Baltimore in the fourth quarter.
Probably the best team in the conference.
Okay, but you lost. So why we have all this confidence that it's going to be a blowout? I agree with Tamara. I think every one of Cleveland's games has gone down to the last play.
I think the Patriots will beat them by 10 points.
I hope you're right.
I don't think it's a blowout, but
10 points in the NFL is a blowout.
Well, all right, then they'll blow them out.
I mean, there's one spread this week that's more than 10 points. One out of the 14 games.
Well, nobody hates Jacoby Brissett more than you, Paul. So
I think he stinks. But to Fred's point, all they do is run the ball, and they find a way to score points. It's one of those rare teams that finds a way to get in the mid to high 20s without throwing the ball.
And matching up with us, I think their success is a credit to their running backs. Also, a really great offensive line, and just our defensive line has not really blown me away this year.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, I think you're right overall, but I think they're getting better week by week as well.
But what do you judge that on?
I'd love to see Lawrence Guy back. I think that would really help.
But last week, they had a shutout. Their defense was outstanding.
I just watched the game, Paul.
Right, last week, they were outstanding. I can't say enough good things about the defense last week.
Yeah.
The previous 2 weeks were not improvements.
I just watched the game.
Right. So I'm asking you what you're judging it on.
Just what I see.
So what was the improvement that you saw? That's what I'm asking.
I just see guys, if guys aren't out of position, I think they're,
when were they out of position in the Miami game?
They're playing much more solid defense overall.
But based on, this is what I'm saying.
Eyes.
But you're saying they're improving.
My eyes.
They're improving based off of what? That's what I'm asking.
My eye. Well, from what I see.
From the Miami game to the Baltimore game?
Yeah.
Because you told me that against Miami they were great defensively.
Not against
Then they gave up 37 2 weeks later. Was that an improvement?
I said they did a great job minimizing the yards after catch by guys like Waddle and
then
Hill.
2 weeks later they gave up 37 to Baltimore.
I thought they did a good job in that game doing that.
Right, but then you said they've improved. So 2 weeks later they gave up 37. Was that an improvement over Miami?
What was the running totals in that game?
Against Baltimore?
Yeah.
They gave up 200 yards.
Yeah. But
then they gave up another 200 yards the next week against Green Bay.
Yeah, but you have to look at it in context. It wasn't.
Okay, so they didn't improve.
I think they are. I think they are
Last
improving.
Week, absolutely.
They're not getting gashed the way they were.
She had to go to practice.
Yeah. They're getting
last week. They did not get gashed. I will agree with you.
No.
I think last week was a tremendous defensive effort. They did not get gashed in the running game. They gave Goff absolutely nothing. They were dominant.
Yeah,
but the previous 2 weeks, that wasn't the case.
I can just tell you that I'm seeing guys playing better.
Last week,
You know,
I agree.
No, every week.
I just don't understand how
it's
you can say
incremental.
that based on those two other
it's
games.
It's not always just based on the numbers, Paul. It's
no, it's based on the performance.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm asking you. What did you see? I'm asking you, what did you see besides like guys lining up right?
I'm seeing guys making plays, not getting pushed around like they were, earlier. So I'm telling you, they're getting better.
Where's my one?
Godshaw's, like I said, I wish Guy was in there, but I think Godshaw's playing well. I think, the problem before was linebackers weren't really helping out. They weren't filling in behind. That's starting to get better.
Last week, I would agree.
I think
can't argue with that.
That's starting to get better. But I think the guys up front, Deuce's guys on the line are playing pretty well.
Last week, outstanding.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
Judon.
I just don't agree on the Baltimore and Green Bay games.
Yeah.
I don't think they played well defensively in those games.
I know. I mean, and you're right. I mean, with Baltimore, though, they got Lamar. That's why I like this.
Well, that's the other thing. Take out Lamar's numbers and
you can't. But
still it was still really bad.
I know you
go
can't.
ahead and take them out.
I know you can't take out the numbers, but that's tough.
It's unique. It's hard to judge the whole defense off of Lamar.
Right.
Lamar's a lot of people.
So and this is kind of what my point is. Like, this is the only reason why I kind of snipped at Mike, who was downplaying Cleveland's adequacy. we can sit there and tell you everybody's it was Joe Flacco against the Jets. Yeah, they stink. And when you have played somebody who doesn't stink, you've looked bad, right? Like it was Lamar Jackson. Okay, I'll make sure that we don't play any good quarterbacks that can make plays.
Yeah.
So the defense can pitch shutouts.
Well, MVP quarterback.
Like this week is going. This is right. Exactly. He's good. You couldn't match up.
That's fine. I don't think the
There's
Browns are
probably
good.
There's probably going to be a time when you're going to face other quarterbacks who are good.
And I hope by then
but not Lamar Jackson.
They're making strides. And
you don't think you'll face a quarterback as good as Lamar Jackson?
Well, not that style. I mean,
I think you'll face
Aaron
Josh
Rodgers.
Allen, who is 100 times better than Josh Allen.
Well, that's a whole
than
other thing.
Lamar Jackson.
But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, they did all right. That's another MVP
they
quarterback.
They didn't do all right. This is my point. That team scored way more points than they normally score.
They did all right.
Okay. I mean, we could just say they did okay.
I mean, he made some throws, but I mean, that's another MVP guy.
Aaron Rodgers did not make any.
I thought it was the run game.
Yes, they dominated. It had nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers.
Right, so I know, but Deuce is saying Aaron Rodgers.
Are we talking about defense or just like Jack Jones?
No, but Aaron Rodgers didn't beat them. They did a good job against Aaron Rodgers.
Right, and why do you think that they gave up so many yards rushing?
Because they were focused on stopping Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly, and you don't have to worry about that against some other teams who can't do anything to beat you.
That
Aaron
was
also
like last week.
That was a choice that they made in that game. That was the game plan. We're gonna sacrifice rushing yards and make sure that we don't let Aaron Rodgers
just don't tell
beat
me
us.
that allowing a team that averages 16 points a game, 27 is good defense. That's all I ask.
Well,
that's all I'm asking.
It's really only 24.
Yeah, and if not for a drop touchdown pass with 2 minutes left, it would have been 31.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't think they have other drops in other
games? They didn't do anything to stop that play, correct?
Yeah. I think the Patriots.
Yes or no?
I think the defense is getting better every week. I really do.
Well, all right. I understand that you believe it. I'm just asking you to explain why.
From what I see, just like guys making plays.
I can just use the force too.
Guys
and just like make stuff up.
Guys making
from what
plays.
I see. It's what I sense.
I see Duggar getting better every week.
Last week I saw a defense that played in an entirely different way than they did the previous two games, and they completely snuffed out what I think is a really good offense. I would give that as a Mike argument against me and say, I think the Lions are pretty good on offense, and they made them look pretty bad.
Yeah. Well,
that to me is an improvement defensively.
And I think in week 1 they couldn't have done that. I think they've been getting better every week.
Okay. Well, they couldn't have done it in week. And I think when they couldn't have done it in week 3 or 4 either.
And I think part of it is, like I said earlier, Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo understanding. Okay, who do we have on this?
You know
defense?
what you do when you don't really have anything tangible? You go on things that are completely subjective. I think it's Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo understand.
Yeah,
I can't argue. I can't argue with that.
See, Paul,
I can't argue with that because I have no idea.
Paul makes fun of all the stats geeks unless He wants to use the stats.
I'm not giving you any stats. I'm giving you performance.
The
other team moved the ball at will and scored points. That's all. That's not a stat.
You think Green Bay you move the ball at will?
From the second half on, yes.
Okay, but not the first half,
no,
right?
They got off to a slow start offensively in the first half.
Why?
The Patriots defense played well in the first half. I said, go back and listen to the postgame
And last week they put a game together where both halves they played, so they're getting better. They're getting better.
Yeah, but you told me they got better in the Green Bay game.
I think they were better in Green Bay than they were the week before. Right?
Yes, they were.
So they're getting better.
They were, but they weren't better than they were against Pittsburgh.
Well, Pittsburgh stinks.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I do take some things into consideration.
I think they were better than. I think they were better against Green Bay than they were against Baltimore. I do.
Okay.
I do.
Evidence of getting better?
I think they were better from Green Bay to Baltimore.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Baltimore and Green Bay games.
So
were
did they
better.
get?
They weren't better in the Baltimore or Green Bay game than they were against Miami or.
Did they get better after Baltimore?
After Baltimore, yes, I'd have to say.
And then they got better after that game.
Right, but
so they're getting better.
But they got.
I don't know.
But they got worse.
Point Kirsch.
From Miami and Pittsburgh to Baltimore and Green Bay. They got worse in those two games from the first two games. Then they bounced back and got better.
Okay. I'm like I said, I'm sticking to my guns. I think this defense is getting better. I think the coaches are understanding who they are. I think they're putting him in the positions, this guy does this well, he doesn't do that well. Let's not put him in that position anymore. They're finding out what works for the personnel that they have week by week, and I think it's getting better. And by the time they play Josh Allen, maybe they'll be able to put up a fight.
Hopefully, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe though.
I'll stop hijacking this show.
No, I think it's good for the video, right? We need a little.
Yeah.
We need a little
drama.
A little fireworks.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
I still haven't found out why, but I'll let it go.
Well, I mean, I just don't rely on numbers. I look at actually what I'm watching.
But you keep telling me you think the coaches are putting guys in positions to how about an example? I don't need a stat. How about an example?
I remember last year, guys were just like out of position, like just big running plays.
Again, how about an example?
I don't have it in front of me. I just, like you said, I look at the whole game and I just remember guys with their backs to the play because they're guessing wrong or they're and just being
kind of like Juwan Bentley shooting a gap and having the ball go by him.
Yeah, that's an example.
Deuce, who used that as an example of something you didn't like?
Well,
that would be you.
Play.
Okay,
yeah.
So then I can use an example of Duggar, shedding 3 blockers to make a tackle for loss.
Right, but is that coaching?
He's in the right position. He's there to make the play. Like he's being coached up. He's like, this is what's happening here. Reading the play and recognizing it and reacting.
Okay.
I think there's something to coaching there, but also putting the right guys in the right position to make plays. You can't say Duggar's not improving.
I think Duggar's a good player.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about Duggar.
But Judon is playing well. I think, he's Defensive Player of the Week this week. First time this year. He's getting better.
You're right. I'm with you, Fred. I mean, I think
a surprise.
I think
Mike takes Fred's side.
I think to Paul's point, there have been up and downs with a lot of elements, but
not,
overall, I think trending up.
Bears.
And that's what you would expect.
Listen, I said this yesterday.
Unless it's a perfect game,
I think yesterday
it's no good.
I think Sunday was outstanding. I don't know how many different times I can tell you how impressed I was with the defense on Sunday. I spent my whole hour with Felger and Maz telling them.
All I said is I think they're getting better, and you're saying no, they're not.
Because they got better Sunday, Fred. Incremental improvement that you're talking about, I disagree with. I'm sorry that I don't see it the same way as you do. I'm sorry I don't understand what the defensive game plan is because I don't know enough about that to credit the coaches for putting guys in positions to hide their weaknesses. I don't know what I don't know anything that they've done to do that.
I believe every game they go in with a game plan.
No, I do too. I just don't know what it is.
And when it works.
And you obviously do. So I can't argue with you. You're talking about something completely subjective that I can't I don't understand it. So you know more about it than I do. What do you want me to tell you?
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
I can't argue. I can't make it any plainer
I can't
than
argue
that.
with that. Yeah.
When you started talking about Belichick and Mayo putting guys in positions more effectively than they did last year, I can't argue with you. I can't tell you
I'm
you're
not
wrong.
even talking about
I
last
can't tell
year.
you you're wrong.
I'm
I have
talking
no
about-
idea.
I'm talking about as the season goes.
Right. I can't argue with that because I don't have anything tangible to point to. I asked for some examples. You didn't have any. We'll move on.
I mean, I can go and list all the good plays this year. Is that what you want?
No, but like, is a good play like Matthew Judon stripped Jared Goff? Is that because of like Gerard Mayo and Steve Belichick putting him in a position to succeed?
No,
or
but
he made a great play.
But they're not putting Judon in every play. You know, like he's doing like 60% of the snaps or something
in that
like
game
that.
he did, yeah.
You know, so there's some thinking behind that.
Okay, so that's why I said I thought the defense was better Sunday.
Okay, but there's some thinking
But
behind
there was no
that.
real evidence of these things that you're talking about going on in the previous two games.
I think there is. They didn't win. They didn't shut down a team like they did on Sunday. But I think there is evidence of guys figuring it out and getting better. I really do.
Well, Paul, how do you feel about them carrying that performance over into next week, though? I mean, I
Not
think
great.
that's the heart of it. That
Not
you don't
great.
feel like they're going to maintain.
I fell for the
close to
banana in
that
the
level.
tailpipe last year. I think it'll be fine this week because you're playing another team that can't do that. But
what?
eventually you're going to see good quarterbacks when you have to worry about both things. And then I worry.
Yeah. And like I said, by then, hopefully.
Like, I don't think there's any chance they could stop Buffalo. Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Fred obviously has hope that they'll be better by then.
Right now.
I don't.
Right now, there's no way they would beat Buffalo. And maybe by then, they haven't improved enough. Even by then, they'll be.
Barring a rash of injuries, they ain't slowing Buffalo down.
No, I look more to the offensive side, not to change the subject, but like.
Well, they can't.
For
keep
me,
up.
that's like you're not going to stop. You're not going to. You got
That's
to
all I'm
score
talking
30.
about. I'm not. I know I come off as being, ridiculously stubborn and
Well, you
and
don't just come
snarky.
off that way.
I'm not trying to do that.
I mean,
I thought they played great.
You're not trying.
I thought they played great on
natural.
Sunday. You think they played like they did on Sunday every game. That's where we disagree.
Did I ever say that?
They're-
Did I say that?
They're improving. There was nothing
Did
even
I
resembling.
say that they play the same way Sunday as the rest of the season? Did I ever say that?
I'm pleading the fifth.
Did I?
You said they were improving every week.
Yeah. Does
That's
that mean
the
that
only
they
thing I
played-
disagreed with?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. I think people are enjoying this though. I'm getting a lot of comments. Here.
Yeah.
There we go. We got a nice little illustration there. The next big thing on YouTube. Somebody else is crazy enough to have us on their big screen right now too. So.
That is crazy. Talk about 4K. Oof. All right, let's go back to the phones. People holding on. Dwayne's in Boston.
Dwayne.
Dwayne just hung up. Let's go to Leon in Wisconsin. What's up, Leon?
I don't know if you guys touched on this already, but with Damian Harris out, who are we going to complement Ramondre Stevenson in the backfield? Are we going to possibly elevate Pierre Strong, J.J. Taylor, or do something like we did in 2015 to bring someone like Steven Jackson into the running back room?
No. I think they'll go with what they've got. And, all the guys you just mentioned are candidates, and probably J.J. Taylor because of his experience, but wouldn't surprise me to see Pierre Strong activated as well,
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this would be the perfect situation if we had James White still. It would be pretty solid there as well. But with Ty Montgomery out as well, that kind of hurts.
Yes, it does. Yep. We all thought he might be a factor this year. But
yeah.
We'll see. There's still time. Thanks, Leon. All right, we're going to go to a break because Evan's back from practice, and we'll get him that after this. But before we go, I want to tell you that Bridgestone is the official tire of the New England Patriots, and Bridgestone tires are now on sale through December 10th at all Sullivan Tire locations. Visit sullivantire.com for a location near you and get those Bridgestone tires on sale. You only have till December 10th, though.
Better hurry.
So you better hurry. All right, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, Evan is back from practice.
Want to get into the game? Get coached up at Dean College. Equipped with exclusive academic partnerships featuring the Patriots, Revolution, Providence Bruins, summer baseball, and more, our classrooms are set up for success by learning directly from the pros. Dean College has programs in communications, sports management, business, and marketing with unprecedented hands-on experiences. Our students take what they learn in the classroom and put it right to work in the marketplace. At Dean College, our students don't just play games, we run them. Visit us at dean.edu.
Verizon. the network America relies on, and the official 5G network of the New England Patriots. Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Patriot Place is the region's #1 shopping, dining, and entertainment destination. Shop your favorites, including Vineyard Vines, Express, Olympia Sports, Petco, and more. Enjoy dining at one of our 19 restaurants, including 6 String Grill and Stage, Scorpion Bar, and Bar Louie. And don't forget about the entertainment. Explore your inner artist at Muse Paint Bar, watch a movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, or grab a controller and start gaming at Helix Esports. For a complete directory listing, please visit patriot-place.com.
How did Verizon build the fastest 5G in the world? We started by building it right with 5G Ultra Wideband. Then, we gave it massive capacity and near zero lag. And it's not just fast, it's 25 times faster than today's 4G networks. This is 5G built right from the network more people rely on, only on Verizon. 5G Ultra Wideband available only in parts of select cities. Global claim based on open signal independent analysis. 25 times analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence dated Q2 2020.
The ruling on the field stands.
We deliver jerseys, funny foam fingers, and everything you need for the game. But what you really get is so much more.
FedEx Delivery.
Game day spirit. What we deliver by delivering.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Some people are never content with simply being good. Not when they can be great. But it takes a big step to get there. In fact, it takes a leap of faith, a belief in what you're striving toward, and a willingness to make the commitment, day in and day out, to something bigger than yourself. Putnam is proud to partner with those who share their own commitment to performance excellence. This is Matt Light for Putnam Investments, a world of investing.
There's no season better than football season, and there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week, so head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Patriots fans, you'll want to check out the replay on this one. Pat the Patriot is stealing the show tonight with his Bank of America mobile banking app.
That's right, folks. So here we see Pat cheering, and then whammo! Is that Bank of America life plan?
Looks like he's saving up for some big future moves. Planning the next vacay, huh, big guy?
And wait, now he's paying back his buddy for concessions using Zelle? No penalty there. Incredible!
No way! As if that double move wasn't impressive enough, now he's beefing up his account defense with security meter? Holy cannoli, what a performance!
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive, Patriot fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking. You must be enrolled in online banking or download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
Want to get into the game? Get coached up at Dean College. Equipped with exclusive academic partnerships featuring the Patriots, Revolution, Providence Bruins, summer baseball, and more, our classrooms are set up for success by learning directly from the pros. Dean College has programs in communications, sports management, business, and marketing with unprecedented hands-on experiences. Our students take what they learn in the classroom and put it right to work in the marketplace. At Dean College, our students don't just play games, we run them. Visit us at dean.edu.
Verizon, the network America relies on, and the official 5G network of the New England Patriots. Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Patriot Place is the region's #1 shopping, dining, and entertainment destination. Shop your favorites, including Vineyard Vines, Express, Olympia Sports, Petco, and more. Enjoy dining at one of our 19 restaurants, including 6 String Grill and Stage, Scorpion Bar, and Bar Louie. And don't forget about the entertainment. Explore your inner artist at Muse Paint Bar, watch a movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, or grab a controller and start gaming at Helix Esports. For a complete directory listing, please visit patriot-place.com.
How did Verizon build the fastest 5G in the world? We started by building it right with 5G ultra wideband. Then we gave it massive capacity and near zero lag. And it's not just fast, it's 25 times faster than today's 4G networks. This is 5G built right from the network more people rely on, only on Verizon. 5G ultra wideband available only in parts of select cities. Global claim based on open signal independent analysis. 25 times analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q2 2020.
The ruling on the field stands.
We deliver jerseys, funny foam fingers, and everything you need for the game. But what you really get is so much more.
FedEx Delivery.
Game day spirit. What we deliver by delivering.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Some people are never content with simply being good. Not when they can be great. But it takes a big step to get there. In fact, it takes a leap of faith, a belief in what you're striving toward, and a willingness to make the commitment, day in and day out, to something bigger than yourself. Putnam is proud to partner with those who share their own commitment to performance excellence. This is Matt Light for Putnam Investments, a world of investing.
There's no season better than football season, and there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week, so head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Patriots fans, you'll want to check out the replay on this one. Pat the Patriot is stealing the show tonight with his Bank of America mobile banking app.
That's right, folks. So here we see Pat cheering, and then whammo! Is that Bank of America life plan?
Looks like he's saving up for some big future moves. Planning the next vacay, huh, big guy?
And wait, now he's paying back his buddy for concessions using Zelle? No penalty there. Incredible.
No way. As if that double move wasn't impressive enough, now he's beefing up his account defense with security meter? Holy cannoli, what a performance.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive, Patriot fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking. You must be enrolled in online banking or download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
And now, great moments in history.
The people that I had to listen to He's a system quarterback. It's all dink and dunk. He's an average. Those people are out there
have been disproven.
Those people.
Yes, in
they've gone
2002,
quiet.
That was disproven when he led the league in touchdown passes.
We
in
know
02.
that, but there's still people
but there
out
were
there
people
that said that.
would come after you the whole into 2015, 2016. That was what you had all the whole time.
He is really he's the
He's-
wall.
he's those people.
He's on the
Oh,
wall.
I'm not. I don't care
He's
about
on
the
the
wall.
wall.
I don't care about the wall. I
Like
just
in
like watching football.
2015 and 2016, there wasn't a lot of people saying that he's not that good. He's just a game manager.
Oh, you'd be
like
surprised.
that had gone away.
You'd be surprised. I really think. I mean, especially
in your
into
echo chamber,
2014.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that you heard it.
Yeah.
I just don't think that was very prevalent.
Yeah.
I think there was Max Kellerman's and
Eric Scalavinos.
I think that a lot of the game manager dink and dunk things went away for good in 07.
Yeah. Yes.
When he set all the records.
Right.
He showed you I can do it your way.
Give me the
and I can
tools.
do it my way.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I can do it whatever way I want.
Absolutely.
It's the same argument I used when I get into it on social media. But but look what now, Welker and Branch.
But I gotta give him credit though. Deuce, he finds them, and now he hates them.
That's another great moment from
Hey, Patriots fans, I'm here to tell you about NFL All Day. With NFL All Day, all your favorite Patriots highlights become digital video collectibles called Moments. Not only can you buy and sell them on a secure marketplace full of thousands of NFL fans, you can also use them to compete in epic game day challenges. Check it out and find some moments from all your favorite Patriots players on NFLAllDay.com. Well, it's that time. Evan is back from practice.
Evan has returned from practice. Evan has returned from practice. Yeah, Evan has returned from practice. What was the mood? Who wasn't there? What did he see?
It's a catchy jingle. It really
in the
is.
video feed, we're all just bobbing
Yeah.
our heads.
And looking at our phones.
So, Evan, give us the 411.
Another day and another day of perfect attendance on the 53-man roster for the Patriots. Everybody practiced in some capacity yesterday. Even Damian Harris was listed as limited. Mac Jones limited again yesterday. Looks like he's doing the same things or similar things out there today. Knee brace on, flip card on this. Flappy.
Is it flapping around?
Yeah.
Flapping around. So, no lower pads today. Just shells and shorts or sweats or whatever they feel like wearing. So
Okay.
perfect attendance on the 53-man roster. Little Jordan Humphrey is back in the building. Not sure he ever really left. He had a locker in the locker room yesterday, and he was back out there at practice today. Kicker Tristan Vizcaino missing from the practice squad. So if you add it up, connect the dots, it sounds like Vizcaino has lost his spot on the practice squad, and little Jordan Humphrey has taken the spot.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Tristan. No, backup kicker.
Backup kicker.
Folks been great.
And overcast today out there?
Overcast, not raining yet, but they are projecting rain later on in practice, and my understanding is that the team will be staying out there for practice in the rain if it does indeed rain. So unlike last week when we went inside the bubble, no bubble in the rain today.
Yeah.
So
Was there a large media contingency or?
it was good media contingency. I think a lot of people are coming for this quarterback thing.
For the
you
ankle.
know?
They need that shot of the ankle.
They just want what we're watching right now on NBC Sports Boston, Mac Jones throwing the football to some equipment manager or something like that. Not to pick on the guy catching the ball, just saying, it's not to a receiver and it's against air, but this is enough for people right now.
Oh, yeah. So when you combine the media being interested in what Mac's going to do and, the overcast weather and shells, what would you say the mood is?
I would say the mood is a little bit
shoulder pads.
Antsy.
Is that from today?
Antsy, okay.
Antsy, because I think that this quarterback, I keep calling it a thing because I can't really think, I don't want to call it a controversy because I think that's going way too far. So let's call it a thing. I think that some people, last night, just a little inside baseball, we waited quite a while for Mr. Zappi to come to the podium after locker room closed. And I think there are some feelings out there that are, let's see what happens here.
Well,
Let's get to Sunday and see who's going to play.
You always wonder, what's the message that Belichick is giving the team from week to week? And we know that after the 29-0 win, he was in pretty good mood, after the game on Monday, even, yesterday, he was in pretty good mood. But I'm sure he's trying to level set his team, making sure that nothing in that game, gets carried over in terms of cockiness. So I'm sure that he's making sure that this is, we're still not that good.
Yeah.
We still have a long way to go.
Well, it's a new kind of team,
Yeah.
too. I think he's got to push the right buttons. But observation real quick, as we're showing some of the practice, and, of course, they go right away from it. But it seemed to me like Mac had his shoulder pads on. The other two guys just had kind of shells underneath. I mean, I don't know if that seems like a weird Mac thing to me, like that's something he would do where he's like, no, I'm wearing my pads today.
Yeah.
Maybe just
I don't know,
get the
just
memo.
something that
I wonder too. He hasn't played in the game in a couple weeks, so how much has he been wearing the shoulder pads? So if he's trying to gear it back up, maybe throwing in the pads like Brady would always throw in the pads, right? Like even in the off season in his backyard, you see the TB12 stuff, and he'd be in full shoulder pads because that's what you play in.
That's a
right?
good point. Yeah,
you don't play in shells, so.
I think it's significant. I mean, I think it says something about. I mean, things seem like they're definitely ramping up, and he's maybe making some strides to make sure.
Well,
he's
listen,
ready.
if I'm the coaches, I don't start Mac unless he can run around and avoid the rush. If he's limited anyway in that respect, I'm not playing him. But
just have a little.
That's just me.
Like a little team game at tag, and like if he can't get away, then you're out. If you can win tag right now, it's like old school. Dodge a wrench.
All right. Anything else you want to add, Evan, before we get to the calls?
Just on those lines, I hate to be a body language doctor, but just based off of his look, just how he's thrown the ball, how he's carried himself, it's different than what we saw last week. Does that mean anything? I have no idea. Well, I guess we'll find out on Sunday, but it's different in terms of like his focus, right? Like you can kind of see that Mac eye back out there where he's kind of got that confidence and that swagger back a little bit and isn't just kind of limping around out there and going through the motions. So I definitely think that he feels closer. And whether it's this week or next week or whatever, I guess will ultimately be probably a Belichick decision.
So Zappe talked yesterday.
Yep.
Which means the quarterback, the mandatory quarterback talk, press conference is done. So, they don't have to. Mac doesn't have to talk this week, and if he starts, they could say, well, at the time Wednesday, he wasn't ready, but now he's ready and he's our starter.
Yeah, I mean, limited. I mean, tomorrow's injury report is always an interesting moment if they're going to rule anybody out. I mean, 2 weeks ago they did rule Mac out, but I think last week he's doubtful.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe he gets to questionable on Friday, and then he's got a chance.
Could be a big week for the Saturday downgrade.
Oh yeah, because it's travel. If you
right.
don't, yeah.
Oh no, you'll get the
so
first
what if people don't know, when you're the traveling team, if a player doesn't travel, you have to downgrade him to out that Saturday. You can't wait until the Sunday report. You have to tell everybody that the player didn't travel and thus he's out.
Yeah, we spoke to Zappe yesterday, like you said, and a couple of questions. You know that the media is going to come right at him and be like, "So you started on Sunday or what?" And he was asked, "Are you preparing to be the starter? What's sort of the vibe? What are they kind of asking you to do at practice this week?" And all he would say was taking advantage of the reps they're giving me and trying to help the team however I can, things like that. And I thought,
and the good Lord willing,
right. A couple weeks ago, I would say, I think it was probably after Baltimore, after Mac's original injury, he gave a more convincing answer of, I always prepare to be the starter even when I'm not going to be the starter type of answer. This week it was just taking the reps they're giving me. So I don't know. I think that there is a little bit going on there that Mac is trying to creep back in.
Okay.
I wish you were there to ask him what the mood was. That would have probably been, you could have gotten out of him with,
probably.
Bailey, what was
the mood?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody asked him if Mac was taking reps at practice, and he's like, that's a question for Coach Belichick.
Good. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket Hotline. We'll take some more calls and emails before picks start in a few moments. We'll start with Sean in Vancouver. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Fred, I got a couple of things. One question for Evan. I really like your polo shirt. I'm looking on the Pro Store. I can't really figure out exactly which one it is, so I don't know if you got it.
Is that an
there
Antigua?
Or not.
It's a Tommy Bahama.
Wow, take that guy on social media who attacks your outfits.
with the Pat Patriot logo. Yeah,
Wow.
is a gift. Very
You
nice.
look fantastic. I have to ask, who are you wearing?
Tommy B.
Okay, there is a Tommy Bahama one on there, so I'll look for that. The other thing I want to talk about is
moving product.
Stevenson at running back. Stevenson, I think, gives the Patriots a better look when, even though I like Harris, I think he's great, great, power back, and he hits the holes hard. It's just, I think the Patriots are less predictable with Stevenson being the lead back, because you can't really determine if they're going to be doing some play action or if they're going to be running or passing at that point, where you see Stevenson at times sometimes even run from the shotgun, where Harris wouldn't do that. So I think for that reason you find that maybe there's less pressure coming at Zappe, because the blitz isn't as strong, since they're not, defenses aren't really determining right at the look what's going to happen. What do you think?
I don't know the amount of times that Harris versus Stevenson out of the shotgun, and there's an inside handoff or a draw or something like that. I don't know the numbers, but it doesn't seem like Stevenson right now is a big threat to catch the ball yet.
Not like James White was.
Yeah.
Downfield. I mean, some little like slip out and check down kind of stuff. But
yeah, he does. He's lined up wide a couple times, though, right?
Maybe a few.
Yeah.
His splits are 57-43 pass, right, in favor of the pass. So he's been on the field more for passing plays than running plays. Harris, that would not be the case with last year. Harris was 60% run on the snaps that he played. So definitely more involved in the passing game, definitely more involved on third down. He's already outsnapped Harris all last year on third down in the first 5 weeks of the season. So they're using Stevenson a lot more in passing game situations. I think the one time where, other than screens, because he caught that screen last week against Detroit, made like 3 guys miss. It was a good play. He had an angle route over the middle against Green Bay where he was a shoestring tackle. He was really close to breaking it, and I think that was probably the best route that I've seen him run. Like, shake a guy at the top of the route, get yourself open, and get into a potential space opportunity. Just got tackled.
Well, people have said it, and probably Bill would agree. He's definitely established himself as an every down back. He can be that.
Well, it was a huge area of emphasis in the offseason was to make sure that they were throwing with Harris and Stevenson on the field more than they did last year, to be less predictable. And I don't really – I mean, it's great if you can get those guys involved as receivers. I mean, obviously, I guess especially a guy like Stevenson, you get him in space. That slant that Evan's talking about against Green Bay looked like it was a hair away from being a really big play. But I'm not as worried about them catching the ball as I am that they're throwing the ball when they're on the field. And I think they have done that more this year. And the numbers for Stevenson obviously back that up.
I mean, just even some of the early snaps, like in the second half, where they went, 6-OL, they brought Cannon on, play action, trying to hit guys. I mean, it seems like they're aware of it. I just am curious what it's going to look like now with Harris presumably out.
Yeah.
How do they divvy up the roles we've been talking about?
Yeah, I mean, you want Stevenson to be available in December. So you have to think about that. You don't want to give him 35 carries, until Harris gets better. You have to figure it out.
I mean, it must be tempting with what you've seen from Cleveland's run defense. But I mean, that's why I'll be a little disappointed. I mean, no offense to J.J. Taylor, but he drafted those 2 guys. I would love to see one of those 2 rookies, just get a chance, get their feet wet. I mean, we've seen the success that some of the rookies have had getting their feet wet. Marcus Jones, as an example, lately, getting slowly involved a little bit. Would be great to get, one of those guys. Even if, like we said yesterday, Harris with the early down stuff, just don't fumble or else you might not see the ball again until next year.
Yeah, I think it's funny, though, because the predictability thing is always something that I hear, but their numbers are actually terrific with Damian Harris, even as predictable as he was last year on the field, because of play action, because teams are expecting run because he's 60% run, and then you hit him with the play action, and even though he's not catching the ball or really a big factor in the passing game, they were really efficient off of play action. So in some ways the tell can work in their favor because everybody's selling out against the run, and then you hit them with the fake and all of a sudden it goes over their heads. But I hear people when they say that it's a little bit predictable, but I think there is a little bit of a method to the madness in the early down sequencing.
Mike's in Puerto Rico. What's up, Mike?
How you doing? How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Good.
I have to agree. I see Ramonde out there, and I don't know if anybody else does the same thing. Whenever I see him get the ball, the first thing that comes to mind is like, run, Rob, run. And the ability that he just has to move around and just he seems a lot more aggressive and assertive when he's out there, just trying to get downfield and make the most out of it every single yard. and now you're starting to see hesitation from the defensive players that are coming over to him. But in the one thing that I want to, and I'm glad Evan is there, because I sense, I don't know, a tone that I can't really pin down when he says, I don't know what people see out there regarding Bailey versus Mac, and as the more I see of Bailey, and Paul and Evan may laugh at this, like the more I think there's something about the way the team operates, the way the offense looks. Is there something specific? Do we see practice every day? We don't. But there's just a feeling out there when he is playing that just seems a little bit more efficient, a little bit more effective. Like things are going the way that they're supposed to. And there's not that sense of dread of that just don't make a mistake, just don't make a mistake. Whereas in the last couple of games from Mac, I've been looking at it and, it's like just don't, just play safe, just be smart. And I just don't feel I can't quantify it, but I just don't have those thoughts running through my head when I see Bailey out there.
How did you feel about Mac last year, though? I mean, have you've just the last couple of games is what have made you lost confidence in Mac and made you feel like you just want him to avoid mistakes?
I thought there was a lot of managing. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, not letting him throw the ball long and stuff like that. And I don't know if McDaniels or the team ever actually came out at any point in time and admitted it, that they were throttling him down, like just limiting his options. But then maybe he just got a little too loose. I don't know. Maybe a little too confident with the offense or confidence in his abilities. But it just started at the end of last year, even at the beginning of this year. Like, I just don't feel comfortable with him out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it might be the floppy wristband or the thing.
Well, there I'm with you.
How can you say that they managed the game
Mike.
last year for Mac, and that's why he was less turnover prone, but then not say they're managing the game for Bailey?
Right.
Deuce, you disappointed me. I think there was a chance that we could have gotten an Evan explosion.
No, but I think Mac's mistakes this year are, a result of, taking more chances,
making more plays,
trying to make more plays.
Some of them. I think some of them too are just
some of them are bad.
Some of them are bad.
But
the point stands. Trying to get it downfield. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's something they had to do. I just want to see what's it look like with Thornton.
The first pick in the Baltimore game was really bad. That was the one the linebacker was there, and I don't think he ever saw the line. He threw it right to a linebacker.
Wasn't a great play design. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, you still got to – you can't just throw the ball when there's a guy standing there. You threw it
Totally fair.
to a guy in the other team. The other plays, I don't really look at as like wild interceptions the way a lot of other people – and now I feel like I'm turning into a Mac apologist, and I've never been that.
Well, remember how the season started. He throws the interception in the end zone.
Right, it was short. It was a bad throw. It was underthrown.
Right, and that mindset for the fans carries over. That mistake, and then he has another mistake.
But my bigger thing is not about Mac. It's about Zappy, and what and I know that the caller was directing it at Evan, and I don't he can speak for himself. But like the whole notion that you keep saying, what are you seeing?
Yeah,
from Zappy, and what I see is like a lack of production in general. So like I can't tell a guy how to feel. And the guy says he feels no dread, like no impending doom.
Because you're not asking him to do anything.
But part of that is.
But that's fine. He felt dread when Mac was out there, and he doesn't feel it when Zappy was, except for they scored points in the Baltimore game, and they really haven't scored any points on offense when Zappy's played. I'm not blaming Zappy for that. He's a third-string quarterback playing his first couple of games. They obviously have a very tight leash on him. But they're not really moving the ball and scoring points all that well. They're kicking some field goals here and there on short fields. That's about it. Against Baltimore, I thought they played really well offensively, and yes, they made some mistakes, which cost them a chance to ultimately win the game. But I would take the plays they made in the Baltimore game over anything I've seen the last two games offensively.
Easily.
Yeah. Let's go to Jim in Connecticut. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Fred, how you doing? Love the show.
Thanks.
I just want to make a point quick about Paul. He reminds me of me and my brother's relationship where we have knocked down.
You should see my brother.
And go out for a beer a few minutes later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to make some points about the defense. About this year, I thought the defense is okay. And during the Baltimore game, actually, the defense didn't play great, but also, we had some turnovers and stuff. But I thought they played competitive to a really good team, and I thought that was good. But the only thing about that game that I think hurt us, too, is I think Duggar was out, and I think he would have helped a lot helping cover Mark Daniels, the tight end for Baltimore.
Can't hurt having him in.
Andrews.
Mark Daniels is tough.
Yeah.
Doesn't he cover the tight end like every game, pretty much, mostly?
Yeah.
Him and Phillips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right.
I think he certainly would have helped with Lamar Jackson's running because I think he's an excellent tackler.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad the defense, though, has, starting to get a base of young players now, like Barmore and Jones. But
I think
what
we
do you
can
guys
all
think
agree
about,
on that.
What do you guys think about I'm not big on free agents, but what do you think about, a Roquan Smith to be as a free agent? Because we're having a problem getting young linebackers, almost like a Stephon Gilmore, where we pay too much too early, but then in time it's a better value later on.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be all for it. I wonder how this is all gonna play out into next year. With what do they see this year out of Mack Wilson and McMillan and Tavai, and all these guys are on 1-year deals, so they're gonna have to rejigger this linebacker group somewhat.
Well, I'm worried about week 6.
Yeah, me too. But
Roquan's not really their type of linebacker. Just saying. I mean,
why is that?
Undersized. Stop it. He's undersized. He's a great player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I don't know. I mean, maybe the Mack Wilson signing or trade, it kind of signals that they're at least looking at a different prototype at linebacker, but they can't get Mack Wilson on the field because of his, issues that they knew schematically they probably were going to have.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's great player. I just don't know if paying that guy that kind of money when he doesn't really fit what you do is the best idea.
And me, Fred, I'd never care about the money. I'm not sure how much money because it is kind of a position that doesn't break the bank.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You're looking at double digits at least.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you want a player,
yeah,
that's kind of like base. Gave double digits to Nelson Aguilar, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Williams and Phillum. What's up, William?
What's going on, Fred? How you doing?
Good.
Okay. Just 2 questions. Then I'm out your way. One is, can you give me a player that you would want on the team, though? For whatever position, like a realistic, if it's a trade, whatever, who you would want, though, just realistic. Think of it like you're being Bill Belichick. Like, who would you want on the team?
For trade this year, like before the deadline, or are you including next year too?
Yeah, you could say. Well, no, I'm gonna just stay. I'm gonna stick to this year. I ain't gonna say anything about
So
next
something
year.
before the deadline this year.
Right.
God, there's a lot of names out there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think realistically though.
So there's a name that I threw out there yesterday on Catch 22. Check it out, 2 to 3 p.m. Wednesdays. That is
well done right there.
On Carolina. Interesting situation going on there. Derek Brown, nose tackle on the Panthers. Former 7th overall pick, not living up to that billing because he's a nose tackle. And let's face it, he's not going to put up the stats that people want a 7th overall pick to put up. But he's got the 2-gap nose tackle mold down to a T. Here, you're not looking for him to be a top 10 type of production guy. And I really think ultimately, I think Odshaw's a good player no matter where you line him up, but I think ultimately he's better off the nose than he is on the nose. Might be able to free him up. And you got the 28th ranked run defense in the league by DVOA. You got another 330-pound guy in the middle of the defense. It's only going to help with that problem. So if there's anybody on the Panthers roster that I think all the talk about wide receivers is ridiculous. They already have too many wide receivers. So why are you bringing Robbie Anderson in?
And I don't think those guys would represent a demonstrative improvement.
Right.
And I like DJ Moore, but I don't how much better is he than all the guys you have?
Right. So I would look at Derek Brown. I know they also really like to take those guys that they didn't have a chance to get in the draft. I'm sure that
Bill loves former first-round picks.
I am sure they had Derek Brown graded out extremely highly coming out of Auburn, just the way he plays.
What year is he?
He's in his 4th year now.
4th year, okay.
So he has that 5th-year option.
I think he was there when we went to the first combine.
Yeah, my first inkling, listen, I know Carolina is probably going to be selling off a lot of pieces, but I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense to sell young pieces, but he might be far enough along
Yeah.
that he could be available.
What position would you go to, though? I mean, just looking at the Patriots roster, not even considering a specific
Not
player,
necessarily wanting to bring up the Roquan Smith thing, but like I would love an athletic inside linebacker. So maybe Bentley's not playing as much.
Yeah.
But like I don't know how realistic. Like I'm trying to that's a realistic option that Evan gave there with Derek. Like that's the kind of guy that I could see Bill being interested in. He loves former first-round picks that don't pan out because he can get more out of them.
And he would. Like, odd front nose tackle, that's Derek Brown's role. But Bentley's tough because
it's Jonathan Sullivan's role, too.
He certainly has some limitations in coverage and in space. We all know that. But they need a linebacker, especially they're running a lot of this 5-1 front where there's really only one true inside linebacker off the ball. And they need somebody that can play the A and B gap and hold up. And if hold up, I mean at the point of attack.
Not necessarily in line with the X's and O's that you were just talking about, but just that position. I think that they rolled the dice and said we don't need it in the draft, and most of the guys that I think they were looking at filling big roles have yet to really fill a big role. Tavai, I think has been promising.
Yeah.
And maybe Raekwon McMillan's quiet start was more health related, and maybe he made a play the other day. So maybe you get more out of those two guys, say in 2 weeks than you did in the previous 3.
It's just tough because if you're going to play this style of defense, this 3-3-5 that they're playing, you're leaving the guards uncovered on the line of scrimmage. And so if you have a 230-pound linebacker at the second level and they're pulling guards towards them, it's game over. So the only guy that they have, I think McMillan, he had 1 or 2 plays last week where he was able to blow up a puller or a guy climbing to the second level and make a play. One of them, he shot the gap. So those are plays that maybe that he can start to emerge a little bit more because he has a little bit of a downhill thump to him as well. But if you're going to play this kind of system and you're going to put a 225 linebacker there at the second level, it's not going to work out. I mean, they need to have somebody there that can take on blocks. I know that frustrates some people,
but I mean, is it too much to ask that they can take on blocks and make plays? Like, 'cause that's what I feel like. I feel like Bentley's great at taking on blocks, but he just doesn't get off. I mean, he doesn't make plays. Like it's fine if we need a kamikaze to run into guards, but like at a certain point, like where I'm getting to is and I think that McMillan play you talked about, where it's like, hey, met a guy in the hole, shed him, made a tackle. Like, why did that look so novel to me? It doesn't happen enough. You talk about what they're ranked last in. I mean, I think they're 32nd in stuffed runs. So they're not making plays behind the line of scrimmage at the terrible rate. So I don't know. That's just. I mean, I get everything you're saying about the style they're playing. The frustrating thing for me is that linebackers don't make plays.
And this is where I'll side with Fred. Like, their numbers are terrible in that, but I saw improvement in that area.
Certainly. I mean,
on Sunday, to use your term,
yep,
Freddie.
Yep.
I think they had, I don't know how many, but
they
had a number
even on the
of
fourth
key
downs that were
run
4th and
stuffs
1s and stop for no gain.
It's
and
just
gains
hard
for loss.
if you have. I think the point. I agree with you totally, Mike, that they don't make enough splash plays at the second level from the linebacker group. But the problem is that it's like a chicken or the egg situation because they need the 255-pound linebacker to plug the B and A gaps against the run because of the style of front that they're playing. But those guys don't have playmaking. They don't have speed, right? They don't have the playmaking qualities that other guys have. So what I find interesting is they trade for a guy like Mack Wilson, for example, but they didn't change the front. Like, they didn't change the style.
They're just asking him to deal with it.
Right. They're just asking him to deal with it, essentially. So that's the problem is, like, how many people are walking on this planet that are 260 pounds that can also range sideline to sideline and also cover and also take on blocks. Like, I think prime Jamie Collins is like a cyborg in that respect, right, that he was able to do all those things.
And he wasn't a great run player.
No, because of his play recognition. But those are the things that, you can't have it one way or another. And, like, teams that have these lighter linebackers typically play out of a 4-3 so that they can get more guys to cover gaps on the line of scrimmage, and the Patriots are a 3-14.
Yeah. All right, one more call, and then we'll get to the picks. Will's in the barber shop. What's up, Will?
How you doing, guys?
You getting the junior boys regular?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I just have 2 points I want to touch on today. One of them is I really like what they did with the offensive line last week. I believe that they were stacking Isaiah Wynn and Marcus Cannon on one side, and Cannon was reporting as eligible to help with the run. I thought that was really awesome to help them, move the ball on the ground a lot more.
Yep.
And I think that the second point I wanted to make was, to Fred's point, they're going through all the progressions early on. I think everybody's just losing their shirt over Bailey Zappi, and I think they just need to pump the brakes a little bit. I think Mac Jones is a much more capable quarterback at this point, and I just think that people have such recency bias against Mac Jones that they're just really kind of blindfolded by Zappi's recency.
I know it's crazy.
They got blinders on. It's so sad.
Yep. That's why it's a good thing that we have people who know what they're looking at running the team and not the fans.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I hear it all week in the shop.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Will. Appreciate you calling in. All right. It's that time of the week. Paul, what happened last week?
All right, last week, Fred.
Back from the dead.
Fred.
Well, listen.
12-4. Don't get too excited. Followed by Mike and Paul at 11-5, and Evan.
Oh no.
10-6. Oh, so a good week.
Not terrible.
So a good week for everybody last week. Yeah. We're all solid.
Winning record.
With the spread, Mike and Paul 9-6-1. Evan 6-9-1. And Fred 5-10-1.
How did that happen?
It's not a good year.
How do you? That's got to be very rare when somebody wins the straight up, but then is dead last in the.
Yeah. Well, listen. For example, I picked the Patriots to not cover.
As you know, I'm not a numbers guy, so I don't have it. So overall, the standings are as follows: Paul, no surprise, 50-29-1, followed by Mike and Fred at 44-35-1. Evans 22-10.
I'll take it.
So percentage-wise, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Alex
is 30-18. And Tamara was still
week.
only picked 1 week at 7-8-1. You stiffed me with the picks
I
last week.
was really upset about it when the game started. I literally
You
was
forgot.
Like, crap.
It's okay. It's all right.
You can always write them down, and he can fill it in.
When
That's
I'm
what
not
she
on the
does.
show on Thursdays, I
She
send
sends
them.
them to me.
okay.
She sends me on the Slack, and about 8 days later, I find them. I'm just.
I don't
kidding.
have your phone number to text
see
you.
them. I see them. With the spread, again, no surprise. Paul, 46-32-2, followed by Mike, who has found his way to the 500 mark. Congrats to you, Mike. 39-39-2. Evan is also at the 500 mark at 15-15-2. Alex is 22-25-2. And Fred, 29-49-2.
Wow.
That was like me last year.
Epic bad. Epic
Turn it around.
bad.
Turn it around.
All right. The against the spread comeback starts this week, and tonight. 8:15 on Prime Video. It's the Commanders at 1-4, traveling to the 2-3 Chicago Bears.
Chicago by 1, in a game that ought to set the league back decades.
Yes, it should.
Why
Of
is
course,
this game on
the
tonight?
Commanders are in the news. So how ironic that they just happen to be playing tonight. I'm gonna go back to that thing the caller said. 2 bad teams. I'm gonna go with Chicago. N'Keal Harry factor. Give me the home team. I'll lay the point.
Did you hear, by the way, what Rivera said about the
Yes.
quarterback?
The quarterback.
Yes. I mean, I thought he did a good job of damage control afterwards, but
What was his damage control? What did he do?
Well,
how do you damage
he
control
threw
that
himself on the sword. He was like
that was stupid to say.
Yeah, it was a dumb comment. I pride myself on not being a distraction. We preach that. We've addressed it. He addressed it in the team meeting. He apologized for it, but can't take it back. It's out there.
He's going back.
He was just being honest.
Right.
Let's face it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
on a quote graphic forever.
Right.
Sorry for the honesty.
Alex, what do you got? Chicago by 1.
I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna go Washington. And then,
Really?
yeah, give them. I don't know. Maybe they rally around this news and.
We're not a dysfunctional organization.
Right?
We're not misogynists.
We're
Our
not
owner's
our
getting
owner.
kicked
We
out
are
of the
not our
league.
owner.
Our coach is throwing the quarterback under the bus.
We're not blackmailing all the
got
other
this.
owners.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to see, so I want to speak it into existence. and,
Okay.
When Washington against the spread and Washington to win.
Oh, sorry, Evan.
I'm taking the Bears.
Bears.
The best thing about this game is the Bears running game, so I'm going to count on the Bears.
I think the best game is those orange helmets, which I think look really cool. I will take the Bears as well.
That's how bleak
Bears
it is. Paul
win.
talking with uniforms.
Bears win, setting up a big 500.
I think I just got a peek into Fred's pick later in the show.
Sure did.
Oh.
Sunday at 1, the 3-2 49ers are at the 2-3 Falcons.
San Francisco by 5.5.
I think this game's actually at 9:30 on this, based off this schedule.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it are we international?
Yeah.
Again?
The NFL.com has it at 1, but they don't even have a 9:30 game.
Is it a London game? I didn't know it was another
Mercedes.
London game.
Then this is very well wrong, Evan. So don't go off on my sheet.
Yeah, they don't have a 9:30. They don't have a.
Well,
London.
anyway, San Francisco's by 5.5.
5.5. Yeah, I'm gonna take Jimmy G on the road. San Francisco's a little bit weird, but I think they'll get the job done against the Falcons.
Alex?
Okay, San Fran.
Evan?
I'm taking San Francisco to win, but I'm taking Atlanta to cover because I like Dean Peace against Jimmy G.
All right.
Peace be with you.
I thought about it, but I'm going to stick with the Niners both ways. That Niners defense is really impressive. I don't think there were a lot of good defenses in football. That's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their defense is Del Rio. I will take the 49ers both ways.
That's an oldie but goodie.
49ers both ways. Sunday at 1, the 3-2 Jets are at the 3-2 Packers.
Green Bay by 7.
Good test for the Jets. I mean, they yeah, I know. 3-2, not a bad start. Winning some games. I got to go with the hometown Pack though. Go Pack, go. But yeah, no, I'm gonna lay the points.
Yeah, I need Green Bay to put the Jets back in their place. Green Bay both ways.
I like Green Bay. I like them both ways too. I feel like the Packers at some point have that level that they're just better than the Jets.
Yeah, I think that as well. I think the Jets stink. I think they're going to get better because I think they have a lot of good young players. I just think it's hard to be good with all first and second year players playing so many key roles. But I will take the points because I don't think Green Bay is all that good.
Yeah, I'm with Paul. I say the Jets cover, even though Packers win at home.
It might be a backdoor cover too. Like Green Bay I think will have the game. I don't think it'll be in jeopardy.
Yeah, I don't think the Jets are as bad as Paul thinks they are.
I think they're.
You said they stink.
Yeah, well, I think they're just too young. Stink is too strong of a word.
Zach Wilson might stink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind him. I think they have a lot of good young players. I just think it's hard to be really good with all young players.
Yeah,
and it's like the youngest roster in the league.
Sunday at 1,
one of the youngest.
The 2-3 Jaguars are at the 2-1 Colts.
Colts by 1.5.
Ooh, another tough one, of course. Jacksonville.
AFC South
handed the Colts
sneaky
their butts
tough games
last year.
to call. Sneaky tough games to call.
I'm really struggling with this one right now, and I'm going to go with Indy at home. Based on that Jacksonville win last year, I feel like they're gonna be locked in on this one. I do think Jacksonville's better, but I'm going to take Indy at home. I'll lay the point. And what did you say? 1.5?
1.5.
Yeah.
Indy.
I'm taking the Jags. These games, these interdivision games, they have some weird trends, where teams just beat up on each other, and I think Jacksonville is
Jacksonville absolutely owns the Colts. They've shut them out in week 2, 24-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They've won the last 2.
I'm going to buck the trend. I'm going to go with Indy. I think they had 10 days off. I think Jacksonville might be thinking to themselves, we are what everybody thought we were after their disappointing loss last week to Houston. I'm going to take the Colts, but I don't feel great about it.
Yeah.
Jacksonville is like a ridiculous hex over the Colts.
Yeah, and it's tough to win, beat the same team twice in your division. But I am going to go with Evan. Jacksonville wins this game.
Like it.
You definitely want the guy.
Have you seen my record?
Under 500 to be with you.
Have you seen my
I just liked the conviction,
Sunday at 1, the 4-1 Vikings are at the 3-2 Dolphins with their third-string quarterback.
Minnesota by 3.5.
Yeah, Skylar Thompson.
Are we're 100% sure Teddy's not playing in this game?
Not playing.
No, he came right out. McDaniel came right out and said,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Lying.
He's in concussion protocol and didn't have a concussion.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're going too far the other way.
This is what happens.
Yep.
I feel bad.
It's
for
derailing,
Teddy, not for the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's derailing a season though.
Yeah.
Like it's not, whatever.
I'm going to take the Vikings on the road, not on prime time, but I just think it's too much for Miami right now.
Yeah, I think it's sorry, Alex.
Minnesota, both ways.
Whoa. Oh, I like that.
You betcha.
Good use of Minnesota.
I'm just watching Tom Brady on NFL Network now doing a press conference.
He doesn't play here anymore.
He never wore a Patriots cap. It was always TB12, and now he's got a Tampa Bay cap on. Tom,
it's camouflage.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
And he's got a Tampa Bay shirt on.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Evan.
Anyways, I'm gonna take Minnesota too. I don't like it, but I think that Skylar Thompson last week was a mess when he had to go in there for Miami. I feel bad for Teddy.
Okay. I will take Minnesota, and I will take the hook, and I'll take the points. I think the Vikings will win the game. It's asking too much for them to beat a good team like that with third-string quarterback. But
yeah. But you
I think they'll just like last week, they'll have a chance.
Yeah.
Kicking a field goal in the fourth quarter to take the lead, he missed it.
I think that
then the wheels came off.
Right. So I think the Vikings cover. They win and cover this game. Sunday at 1, the 2-3 Bengals are at the 2-3 Saints.
Bengals by 1.5.
Bengals by 1.5. So this is like who day versus
who dat.
Who dat. Who day versus who dat. I'm going to go – this is tough. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow on the road. That's a tough one, though. I'm going to take him, and I'll lay the points.
I also rode with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals both ways.
Can't get a read on the Bengals. It's a tough team.
Yeah.
They got so much talent, but they're just not playing up to it right now.
Post Super Bowl.
Yeah, that might be it. I'll take Cincinnati. I'll take them both ways.
I'll take Cincinnati too. New Orleans, I think a lot of the New Orleans defense, but it hasn't played very well.
Yeah. I'm going to stand alone. Am I the only one taking the Saints?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we know why.
Yeah. Why?
Because they were mean to us.
I know. There was an interesting story on NFL.com today, though, about when Tim Tebow was playing at Miami. It was a bowl game. No, Tim Tebow wasn't. Oh, never mind. Forget it.
Good story.
Anyway.
Great story, Hansel.
If Joe Burrow lights it up, could this become a home game for him because of
the LSU ties.
Yeah. And that's what happened in Florida with Tim Tebow.
Yeah, got you.
Chase too, yeah.
Sunday at 1, the 3-2 Ravens are at the 4-1 Giants.
Baltimore by 5.5.
5.5. I like the Giants. I like what Dable's doing, but I think Baltimore is the best team or one of the best teams in the AFC right now. I'll take them and I'll lay the points.
Yeah, Baltimore to win. Baltimore points.
I like Baltimore to win. I'll give the Giants the points.
Throw them a bone.
I don't know. I can't believe the Giants right now. I don't think it's for real, but maybe they're more competitive than I think.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think Baltimore will, without question, at some point in the game be covering, but they won't end up covering. I'll take Baltimore to win, but the Giants will keep it close.
That's the same way. I'll take that hook. Sunday at 1, 3-2 Buccaneers at the 1-4 Steelers.
Bucks by 8.5.
That's not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough. I'm taking Tampa, no problem. Lay the
pretty
points.
Healthy road favorite, though.
It was like 11.5, really, because home team usually gets like a field goal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, home team usually gets like 2 to 3 points.
That's good use of that, Deuce.
Yeah.
You got Tampa?
Yeah.
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 Same. Retweet.
I might check this game out just to watch Brady destroy the Steelers defense like he does every single time he plays Pittsburgh.
It's gonna be some
fair
deep
point.
points.
Yeah, I'll lay the points on this one.
Yeah, I'll go with Brady both ways. All right, now we skip over.
Yeah, you will.
We skip over the Patriots at 1 o'clock and we move to 4:05, where the 1-4 Panthers are visiting the 2-3 Rams.
Oh,
the Rams by 10.5.
10.5.
Just to let everybody know, I don't think Kupp or Donald practiced yesterday for the Rams.
Wow,
I appreciate that.
Yep.
But I think the Carolina Panthers are going down the tubes. Their coach is gone, and they're going to be
maybe that's a good thing.
Not good. I think they're wayward sons. They're gone. I'm going to take the Rams, and I'm even going to dump those points too.
I took the Rams to win, but I gave Carolina the points.
I'm with Alex on this one, and with Fred. I think sometimes the coach getting fired can galvanize the troops a little bit, make it more competitive, but
it's a big spread.
It's a big spread, but ultimately I think the Rams win, but I think Carolina covers that spread.
Yeah, I will lay the points with the Rams. The Rams are in trouble if they can't figure out how to protect the passer, though. They're going to be in disarray if Stafford keeps getting hit the way he is. I think he was sacked like 21 times or something.
Well, a lot of them are his fault.
I know. It's just it doesn't even really matter.
Yeah, so I'll take the Rams because I think that the coach. I don't think they hated the coach. I think when they hate the coach and he gets fired, there's a little of that rallying. I don't know the Carolina situation closely, but I haven't really heard any players coming up. Maybe I missed them.
They're gonna lose.
And
on
it sounds like
purpose
they're
and be
more.
Like, see, it wasn't the coach.
Yeah, I think there's more talk in Carolina about a fire sale.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Christian
Oh,
McCaffrey
totally.
and where he's going, and this guy and where he's going.
Oh, we're going right to Derek Brown.
I think there'll be some guys on the Panthers going on IR shortly. Just
The Rams are
shutting it down.
in a tough spot though. Like
The Rams-
offensively,
the Rams are bad right now.
They just don't have enough talent on offense. They don't have a good offensive line. It's Cooper Kupp or bust. Like they just don't have a lot of talent on that side
Yeah,
of
the
the ball.
line is really, really struggling.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rams win, but I will take the points. 405, 2-3 Cardinals are at the 2-3 Seahawks. Let Geno cook.
So this is an interesting game time because if the Mariners and Houston have to play in the game 4, they're changing the time of this game. They're pushing it back like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
So have a little middle game.
Yeah, it'd be like a 5:30 start, something like that. If there's a baseball game,
That's fun.
Just anything that's different is cool. I agree.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
could help us on Red Zone. We'll have extra games.
I know,
to
it'll
watch.
be-
Sorry, Arizona by 2.5.
Arizona by 2.5. Tough one. Division game. I'm gonna go with Seattle and the Fighting Geno Smiths, and I will take those home dog points.
Arizona to win, but I gave the points to Seattle and Geno.
I'm taking Seattle. I'm taking them both ways. I really don't believe in Arizona at all, and I think Cliff is
done.
Yeah,
it's getting warm over there.
Yeah.
What was that number again, Paul?
Arizona by 2.5. I will take Arizona.
I'm going to take the Seahawks both ways. Well, they're underdogs, so at home. But I'll take them. 425. The 4-1 Bills are at the 4-1 Chiefs, baby.
What are we doing? Why is this game
Woo!
at 4:20?
I know,
This
right?
must be a CBS exclusive.
Yeah, that was a
We're not even going to do the post game show. We're going to be watching that.
That was a it had to be a protected game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with Kansas City was on primetime the last 2 weeks. You'd think they would have wanted it for this one. Buffalo by 2.5.
Wow.
think this
That's
one-
how good the Bills are.
Buffalo is favored in Arrowhead.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with them. I'll
Most
take the
other than
Bills.
you think Buffalo's pretty good.
I know.
I think Buffalo's pretty good.
It was funny, like we were talking with Evan about Buffalo, and like we were doing the defense thing during lunch, and he was like, "It's your offense of Buffalo." It was the same thing I said. We were just like, they could keep them to 30, and it's still not enough with the
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm going Bills. I think the time is now. But I think Patrick Mahomes is obviously playing great, so he'll put up a fight.
He's got a future.
He does.
Not
He
bad.
does.
That
It's
kid
not
might
bad.
be
I don't know
all
about
right.
it-
Good
about his-
player.
About his family, but.
Yeah, I'm going with the home dogs, Kansas City. A smart person once told me that a wise man bets home dogs. So
Who was this person?
I forget.
Yeah. Suspect.
I'm
You're
going
suspect.
I'm going with Kansas City too. I like Buffalo. I think they're a good team. I think Josh Allen's a good quarterback, but you don't make Patrick Mahomes a home dog. Like I saw that last week too with Patrick Mahomes.
Bad
like
juju.
he got a little bit angry at the Chris Jones call and lit the world on fire. So I'm taking Patrick Mahomes as a home dog.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think Buffalo's going to blow them out just like they did last year, and I'll take them to do it again.
I think the Chiefs remember that, and I think the Chiefs win this game.
Well, the Chiefs got the revenge in the AFC Championship.
I
Or
know.
whatever
Divisional
the divisional
round,
round
yeah.
it was.
Is this an AFC Championship preview? This game?
Yes.
Very possibly.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
You
I'm
took
gonna-
the Chiefs?
Yeah, I took the Chiefs.
The Patriots.
Yep, I took the Chiefs. Sunday night on NBC, the 4-1 Cowboys are at the 5-0 Eagles.
Can't get enough of the division matchups in prime
That's a
time.
good game,
Eagles
though.
by 6.
Come on.
It's a fun game.
6.
Eagles by 6.
And they're at home. Another great game. I don't especially love the NFC East, but another great game. It's Philadelphia. Good challenge. I think I saw the Cowboys have won the last 3.
Man, you got notes over there.
No, just a little bit. I print the thing, so I have a little bit of. Maybe I can offer a comment or
That's homework.
a
Cheating.
stat, perhaps.
It's much better just like say things like Jacksonville owns the Colts. I have no idea how many they've won. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
just know those things.
I'm just
have
like,
to, look them up.
I think that's a thing.
I think that's a thing.
I'm gonna go fly Eagles fly, and but I'm gonna take those points. I think it's gonna be close, but I like the Eagles to win.
Philly.
So you have Dallas. You're taking
Like
the
Dallas
points.
points, yeah.
Oh, don't say Philly. On
Now
I say Philly every time
how-
I take Philly both times. I think Paul was the only one that picked up on it the first time.
We blocked it out.
I take Philly to win, but I'm taking Dallas in the points. Divisional game. I just feel like it'll be close.
Dallas is another one of those teams that has a defense that's pretty good. But I'm going to take Philly both ways because, and I know I keep saying this every week, at some point, Dallas is going to realize they're playing with a backup quarterback and something's going to happen.
Hasn't happened
It
yet.
hasn't happened yet. I guess Mike McCarthy's a genius, which generally is an indication of winning games with a backup quarterback. But I'm going to take the Eagles in this game.
I, too, am going to take the Eagles both ways in this game. So there you go. So now, this is looking to be a perfect week for me, I think, both
Okay.
against the spread
You
and
wanna do the
straight
Monday
up.
night
Don't
game
forget Monday
first?
night, though.
Oh, yeah, Monday night. 8:15 on ESPN. 2-3 Broncos are at the 3-2 Chargers.
Chargers by 5.5. They getting any players back?
I don't think
Not
it,
yet.
I don't know if it's going to matter.
The Broncos. Oof.
It's the Broncos. I struggle to pick them for anything right now. I'm going to take the Chargers, and I will lay the points.
I thought they were going to challenge for the AFC West. I really do.
Does
The Broncos.
anybody? This is a question for the panel. You know how I like to throw
Yes,
these out there.
yes.
Did anybody think heading into the season that Russell Wilson was done?
No.
Like, I know he wasn't playing
He
great.
he was on what I would call washed watch.
Okay.
You know, like I didn't think he was done.
I
Like
figured it had a
this.
couple more seasons
I
left.
thought it had more to do with Seattle's sort of crumbling talent, but
I actually think it's
evidently
the
that ain't
opposite.
true.
I think him throwing to Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf maybe kept him going in the end there at Seattle.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily mean receivers. I just meant the entirety of the team.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, I mean,
It's
he
unbelievable.
looks
Washed.
done.
Yeah. Yep.
My turn?
Yep.
Or did you go?
Nope.
Damn my Chargers, both.
Mike went. That was it.
Mike.
Charges.
I'm also taking the Chargers both ways. Name for it, Jamari Saylor, the rookie left tackle that's been filling in for Rashawn Slater, shut out Myles Garrett last week. No sacks, no QB hits for Myles Garrett against a rookie left tackle. It's a really impressive game.
He's only got one arm, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was dead heading into the game. I'm going to take the Chargers, but I will take the points. 5.5. The Chargers will do something stupid. Staley will go for it on fifth down or something.
But it's two really stupid coaches going against each other. So
fair point, because the other guy is as overmatched as a head coach as I've ever seen a head coach.
I'm going to go with the Chargers both ways. Denver finds themselves outside of Denver, not playing at home, and they don't know what's going on. It's a rare away game for the Broncos, so I'll go with the Chargers.
I got you.
All right. Now we go back to 1 o'clock where the 2-3 Patriots are going against the 2-3 Browns.
I'm sorry, Browns by 3.
3. Yeah, no.
So is this a pick 'em?
No question. I love it. Yeah, I'm going with the Patriots. I just think they're going to put a good game together. I have some confidence. I don't have stats to back it up right now, but I think that they'll handle the Browns, and I got them 27-17.
Alex?
I picked New England to win. I think it'll be close. So I gave Cleveland the points. Forgot to think of a score, so let me think of one that would allow for that outcome. Let's do 28 New England,
Ooh.
which would give
26.
26 to Cleveland.
Or 27.
Yep.
Oof. I don't like that.
I'd love to watch a game like that.
I wouldn't.
Offense?
What's offense?
Yeah.
Like
Haven't
scoring?
seen any of that
Like
in the last
points?
couple of weeks.
I'm going to take
Touchdowns.
the Patriots to win. I guess it's a push, right? 24-21, 3-point spread.
So you got to pick one or the other.
Oh, God, you're picking
I mean, if it lands on that, obviously we all tie. But
Okay. I'll take the Patriots to cover too, I guess. I think the biggest thing that I look at with this game, watching the Chargers run offense, I mean, I have never seen a professional defensive line get blown off the ball as easily as this Browns defensive line did against the Chargers. Like, it looked like you were watching Zion Johnson playing in college at BC, like the way that they were moving that interior of the line. It was crazy. So I think the Patriots run defense is not nearly as bad as the Browns' run defense is, so I like the Patriots.
Yeah, Cleveland really struggles stopping the run. They're worst in the league at that.
By a wide margin.
And I have to think that that's what the Patriots are going to want to do again. However, I think that lends to close games. And I don't think this game will be easy. I think Cleveland will run it pretty much as effectively as you do. And this could be one of those games, Mike. We're watching Red Zone by like 3:30. It could be like my dream game.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots will continue to win. I think as much as I argued with Fred before I ate lunch, you'll see a continued progress from the defense.
It was a hangry Paul
for the first time.
All right.
And 24-20.
Okay. I'm with Paul in terms of how many points the Patriots are going to score, 24. I think they hold the Browns to 14. So I think it's going to be 24-14, 10
two
points.
blowouts and three close games.
It's not really. It depends on how toward the end, maybe the Patriots get a backdoor touchdown or something like that. I think it's going to be a closer game than 10 points. It'll feel that way. But a 24-14 win for the Patriots. So, all right.
We're all on the
We're
Patriots.
all on the Patriots this week. I'm not sure
Alice.
that's happened yet this year. All right, so that's. Oh no, I already did all the. I did all
just
three.
Pretty sure it happened last week.
We're just looking out.
When they played Detroit. No one picked Detroit.
No,
last
but I
week.
didn't. I picked. Didn't
Alex
take the
picked
points.
Cleveland for the points.
Oh, okay. Shame on
Alex.
All right.
What are you doing?
That'll be it for this
Alex.
edition of Patriots Unfiltered. Stay
Way to
tuned
go,
for John
Walt.
Rook and the Playbook. Pre-game at 10:45. Post-game right after the show, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.